exhale. Breathe, deep breath in. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Continuing education on nervous system regulation through breathing exercises, sound frequencies, and most importantly, we will be regulating our nervous systems through being honest about why we're so nervous, about being honest about why we're so anxious and sad, about being honest about why we're so angry, about being honest about our dreams and what we really want in life. Take some deep breaths and relax your body. Notice where you feel tense still. Notice where you can relax a little bit more, even if it's just 1% more. Taking deep breaths in through your nose. Let's go a little bit deeper, taking an even slower, deeper breath in through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Deep breath in, close your eyes. If you feel any tension in your forehead, that is just your third eye activating and opening. Deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Deep breaths in. Don't forget to breathe. And exhale. Relax your mind. Relax your body. Relax your nervous system. If you woke up super anxious today, ask yourself why. Don't just mindlessly go through the day. Don't just mindlessly go through the emotion. Sit with it, be present with it, understand it. That is what it's asking for. Your emotions and your body and your mind is asking to be present, is asking to be validated, not by anything external, but by you. So when you are feeling anxious, when you are feeling angry, when you are feeling sad, instead of pretending that those emotions don't exist or being passive aggressive or projecting those emotions, sit with them, understand them because they are you. Understand yourself. Stop running from yourself, because when you run from your darkness, when you run from your emotions, you are robbing yourself of an opportunity to understand yourself. And when you understand yourself more, you can give more compassion and grace. And when you give more compassion and grace, it builds confidence. And then when you have confidence, you start to do the things that you're scared of. And then when you start to do the things that you're scared of, you build even more confidence. And then when you build even more confidence, you go deeper into the things and start to do things that you never thought you would ever do. What are you waiting for? Why are you putting your life on hold? Why are you pretending that you don't have dreams just because you are scared of not reaching them? You are definitely not going to reach to them if you never try. And why does never trying feel like the more safe option for you? Why are you okay with sitting in this frustration and depression for the next 10, 15 years, because I'm here to tell you it's not going to go away. There's no partner that will make it go away. There's no amount of money that will make it go away. There's no status that will make it go away. There's no house that will make it go away. The call, you have to answer it in order for these feelings to go away. You have to step in order for this depression to subside. You have to start being real in order for the anxiety to dissipate. Your emotions are trying to tell a story, but you have to be brave enough to read the book, all of the book, not just the chapters where you're validated, not just the chapters where you feel good, not just the chapters where you win, not just the chapters where you get everything you've ever wanted. You need to open the chapters and read the book and the parts of you that are sad, that have emotional outbursts, that don't know how to regulate their emotions, that feel super insecure, especially in relationships, that aren't really confident unless they have some type of external validation, that need attention constantly in order to feel some sense of self and worth, that is constantly mirroring other people so that you make sure that you fit in because you're so scared to stand out, even though that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Standing out. That's why you're depressed. That's why you're frustrated, because you constantly scroll and scroll and scroll and see other people doing their art, doing their public speaking, making their skits, doing comedy, making music, and you love it. But there's a part of you that feels jealous and envious, and because you feel like you can't achieve the same things, that is why you feel those shadows. But that's not true. That's a story that you're telling yourself, which is evoking an emotion that is robbing you of the opportunity for you to actually step in and see what you're made of. Constantly putting other people on pedestals. Constantly looking at everyone else's work and being like, I could do that. I just said that the other day. Well, why didn't you say it out loud? Well, I could create that. I just made a poem that was just talking about that same thing. Well, why didn't you ever share it? Clearly, it matters to you that people recognize your depth. Clearly, it matters for you that people understand how intelligent and creative you are. Clearly, it does matter to you. Otherwise, why are you getting upset when other people are being recognized, when other people are going viral, when other people are getting all these likes and comments telling them how deep they are and telling them, wow, this poem, this is crazy. Wow, this is amazing. When you've had the same concepts for years. You've had the same concepts and ideas and pain for years. The only difference is this person was brave enough to actually execute. You live in your head all day. You live in your head all day. That's why you're frustrated. That's why you're depressed. Because you love to pour into everyone else's potential but your own. You can see the beauty and the potential and the talent in every single other person, and you put every person on a pedestal. That is another way that you project. You not only project your shortcomings and insecurities and feelings that you don't really want to feel out presently, you also project the beautiful things about you. You also project the talented parts of you and the creative parts in you. And you project that onto people and say, man, I wish I was like that. You are like that. You just don't see it. You just don't believe it. And the reason why you don't see it and believe it is because you don't challenge yourself and you don't execute and you don't do the things that you really want to do to prove it to yourself, not anyone. Not anyone, not mom, not dad, not your friend, not society, you, your inner child, the part of you that you left behind because it was just too painful to acknowledge, them that still lives within you, that is slowly hoping that you wake up and realize that you need to come save them. That dad is no longer the big bad wolf anymore. Mom is no longer the boogeyman in the closet. You grew up now. You get to make your own choices. You get to make your own decisions. You get to protect yourself. You get to set boundaries now. You get to speak your truth now. But the question is, are you brave enough? That's what's been standing between you and the life that you desire. The courage to do the things that you need to do and do them scared. Because the absence of fear only comes with you stepping in and doing it scared. so that you can see that it was never really that scary to begin with. But you can't show yourself that, and you can't build the confidence until you actually do it. You can't think your way into the life that you want. You can't think your way into the relationship that you want. You can't think your way into the bank account that you want. You actually have to take action. And this is where so many of you find me. This is where so many of you find me on your journey, because you have processed and you've intellectualized and you've understood it. Every time we get into the sessions, you guys tell me, oh yeah, I know I did this, and I know it's not my fault, and I know that my mom did this, and I know I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and I know I'm doing this. You tell me. And so I really have to sit and wonder in some of the coaching calls, why did you book this? It seems like you already are in therapy. It seems like you've already been through this. It seems like you're telling me. So why are you booking with me? I don't understand. And the main answer, 99% of the time that you guys give me, is because I know everything, but I just can't do it. I just feel stuck. I just can't leave the relationship. I just feel so scared to start working on my career and job and start putting the content out there. I know that I can't leave this is what most of you say, I know that I can't leave my 9-to-5 right now. And so I really need to have the time to just start doing what I need to do on the side. Okay, what is it that you want to do? Well, I mean, I really want to do what you're doing. I want to do coaching, and I want to help people, and I want to share my art. And I say, okay, well, is that like just making a video, talking about what you're doing? When do you start just telling your story? Because that's what it seems like you want. And why does that take a lot of time? Do you have 60 seconds to put your phone on and sit even in the car, in the corner of the house, I don't know, just to talk your story? How much time? And then you guys look at me like this. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I know. It's just because of this. And well, then, yeah, because I'm in this situationship. Yeah, exactly. This is why you are stuck, because you are in the distractions of the situationship, or you're in the distractions of every single time that you're not at work. You're out at the club. You're out at the bar. You're out with the friends, cutting it up and doing this. And then when Sunday comes, I'm tired and I didn't have any time for myself, and I'm back to Monday. I'm so tired of this. We need more than 1.5 days off. This is just too much. Yeah, I know. 2 days, I agree. That's why I quit corporate America. I really agree with you. I think that it's way too much to be forced to do 40 hours of something that you don't give a fuck about. I think that it's too much to only have 2 days to recover, when really it's just 1 day preparing for the other 5 days. I think that's too much. And guess what? Because I thought it was too much, and because I was fucking sick of it, I made a plan. I did something on the side simultaneously, which meant I couldn't go to the brunches all the time, which meant I couldn't go to the dinners all the time, which meant I couldn't go to every birthday, which meant I can't go to the summer trip in Colombia, which meant I couldn't do all these things that I really was accustomed to doing. I had to change my lifestyle, which felt really shitty, because I was used to being able to be out and spend money and do what I wanted to do. I was used to being able to not have structure, and that felt good. It felt good to not have structure and to spend my money. But then I said, where is this getting me? Yes, I'm having fun in the moment, but every single time I come back from the trip, I'm more depressed. Every single time I come back from the dinner, I'm more confused. Every single time that I come back from the brunch, I feel still empty. This is not enough for me. But it's not enough for me to think about it all the time. I have to actually do something about it. And that's where a lot of you guys find me. That's where a lot of you guys find me. You know what to do. I always feel like, what? No, you need someone to hold your hand and hold you accountable and be real with you. You need that friend. I get it. You need that person that says, yo, you've been going back and forth with this person. You know damn well this is not the person for you. You know that you're using all this energy, pouring into this situationship that you know is going nowhere. But then you constantly tell me that you don't have time to work on your art. You constantly tell me that you're too tired and you don't have this. Well, maybe the hours that you're spending on that. I don't get it. You know what it is. You just don't want to make the changes. That's more honest. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying that you're this and you're that. No, you are choosing to not make yourself a priority. Period. Period. There's no other way that you can spin it. You are consciously making choices, and you know it. This is not something that's beyond you. It's not something that's taking over you. That's when you were ignorant and blissful. That was before the awakening. If you were coming to me right at the initial awakening, oh no, I wouldn't be talking like this. Oh my gosh, we'd be working through it. Yeah, it's going to take time for you to leave that relationship. It's going to take time for you to really see it. You're really blind right now, even though you just woke up. Oh, no, no, no. The conversation would be so different if this was something that was brand new, babe. I would be way more understanding in that way. But I'm talking like this because the energy that is on my screen right now, the energy that is coming through to me is people who are frustrated with themselves, fed the fuck up with themselves, which is exactly where you need to be. When you start getting super frustrated with yourself, when you start getting so tired of hearing yourself tell the people that, oh yeah, I'm writing the book, oh yeah, I'm producing it, I'm working on it. You're so tired of hearing it because the reason why you're saying it is to make yourself feel better because you know damn well that you're not really doing what you say you're doing. You just feel vulnerable in the fact that you're not doing what you say you're doing because now you're aware of the fact that you're not doing what you say you're doing, and your word is not really that impeccable when it comes to yourself. Everyone else you show up for tenfold. Everyone else you're there without a question. Everyone else you're there. But also lately you found it really hard to be there for other people too. Even though you used to be that person that was A1, always people pleasing. No, yeah, I can't. No, it's not in my vocabulary, baby. If you need me, I'm here. If you need me, I'm here. I don't know what the word no means. I don't need to say no. And now you're getting burnt the fuck out. Now you guys are getting there. All the people who didn't say no are hitting the wall right now. I know. All the people who didn't say no are hitting the wall right now. Ooh, hitting the wall. Seeing how your energy is not a all-you-can-eat buffet. Oh, did you see that? You found out? You found out that your energy is not a all-you-can-eat buffet, and that you actually have to have boundaries. You found out about them damn boundaries, huh? I know. And so, yeah, a lot of people that I'm speaking to right now, a lot of people that I'm connecting with right now, a lot of energy and souls that I'm connecting with right now are energy that is fed the fuck up with hearing themselves talk. So tired of being there for everybody else while seeing that they are literally being left behind. Yes, you do feel stagnant because you have not made the physical changes. And I'm not saying that you haven't done anything. I'm not saying that. So don't take it that way, because I feel some of you saying, no, I mean, I've done a lot. I have. I can hear it now. I've done a lot. No, I have made a lot of changes and let go of friends, and I have confronted my mom, and I've gone no contact with my dad. No, I've done a lot. It's been so emotional these last 5 years. It's been one thing after another. I hear you. But now it's time to go deeper. I know. It just seems like it never stops, and that's because it doesn't. Healing doesn't stop. It doesn't. This journey doesn't stop. And now it's time for you to go deeper within yourself, and that scares you. Hold on, let me wipe this off. Now it's time for you to go deeper within yourself, and that scares you. And I get it. I get it. Now you know that you've worked through this block and you've worked through this block. And now what you're seeing is that the room that you were so scared to be in, the room that you used to think was so scary, the big bad wolf was in here, that room is completely lit up now. The room that you were so scared to be in 5 years ago, you're in the room right now and everything is illuminated. You can see the toxicity in mom. You can see the toxicity in dad. You can see how the friends held you back. You can see how the job was not going anywhere and you were just going through the motions on autopilot. You can see all the things now. You're not scared to see it now. What you're scared to do is walk into another room that looks a little bit more dim, because it's the room of the unknown. It's the room of what happens when I actually try. It's the room of what happens when I actually show up for myself consistently. It's the room of what happens if I actually give up that addiction that I am so desperately codependent on. It's the room of what happens when I leave that relationship for good and really block the number and move forward. It's the room of what happens when I start dedicating every single second that I have when I'm not at my 9 to 5 to my art. What happens when I actually post that art? What happens when I actually tell my story online and go live and just start speaking? What happens when I get out of my head and stop thinking that it has to be a whole cinema production when I'm first starting out? Why do I hold myself to these pressure, this high standards all the damn time? Why can't I just turn on the camera and speak? Why do I have to make sure the angle and this and this and that? Why am I always putting the cart before the horse? Mm-hmm. So many questions today. I hope you guys brought your journals. Whew, God, can we take a second? Golly, can I get a breath? Gosh, can I get a second? How are you guys feeling? How are we doing? Grand Rising. If this is your first time on my live, welcome. We just started out with a bang. I thought I was going to play more music, but the energy was coming in, and I was just like, no, I can't not say this. There's people on here that are coming in that I think have to go to work, and they're going to be hopping off soon, and they need to hear this message before they do. So now, if you need to go ahead and get ready to work, go ahead, get ready. But I hope that you are driving to work not on autopilot. I hope that you don't drive to work on autopilot today. I hope that you turn the radio off that that you use to numb yourself before you get there. I hope that you stay fully present with the feelings that you're feeling as you're driving to this job. And I hope that these feelings finally wake you the fuck up and say, why am I okay with feeling these feelings every day? Why am I okay with feeling these feelings every single day? Why am I okay with it? Why have I tolerated it? Why am I tolerating it? Why don't I think I'm worth more? Why am I tolerating it while simultaneously telling other people to go for it and do it and you can do it. Go for it and do it. You can do it. Why are you doing this? You're so talented, bestie. You're so talented. Mom, you should do this. Mom, you're so good with your sewing. You should start the sewing business. And bestie, you're so good and you should sell your stuff. You're just so good at this. You should start your... Why are you like that with everybody else? And then you're okay with driving here numb on autopilot, doing the same thing every single day and expecting different results, only to be pissed off every single year when you don't get the raise that you really feel that you deserve because you're not in a job that is in the business of making you feel valued. You are working for them so that they can do the things that they want to do. And the sooner that you really wake up to that, the sooner that you can be more strategic in the way that you live your life. It's you versus you. Again, how are you guys doing? I need you guys to speak up a little bit today. How are we feeling? Let's open the throat chakra. Do I need to play the throat chakra? Where the throat chakra at? Here we go. Do I need to play the throat? Hold on, let me play the throat chakra because you're quiet today. Here we go. Go ahead and open it up. Go ahead and open it up. Let me put the blue on there. Maybe you need the colors too. Hi. There we go. Hello. I said, how are we feeling though? Look, you still trying to get, look at you. You still trying to get around. I said, how you feeling? You said, good morning. I said, how you feeling? You did the laughing emoji. I said, how you feeling? You said, nothing. All right? I want answers. I want to challenge you to dig deep and think about how you're feeling. This is why I'm asking you the question. I'm not asking you anything that's mindless. Y'all know that. If I'm asking you, it's for a reason. If I'm asking you, it's because we need to open our throat chakras. If I'm asking you, it's because I'm trying to challenge you to be more honest and be more vulnerable in front of other people, because that's what you need. This is the medicine that you need. It's not all these things in the books and all the stuff and all the, and even if you have a book, I'm glad you have it, but thank you. But the medicine is in doing. The medicine is in doing. The integration is in doing, not about thinking about what you got to do and thinking about how you need to be more open and thinking about how you need to set more boundaries and thinking about how you need to do this and thinking about how you think. Get out of your head and into your body. It's okay if you mess up. We'll work on it when we get there. Stop trying to protect yourself from every little thing by being in your head trying to weigh out every little option before it happens. You are not going to be prepared until you feel it. You can't think your way. You can't think your way to the top. Thank you. Feeling vulnerable. Feeling grateful for them. Okay, I love it. Okay, feeling great and grounded. Had a rough day at work yesterday. I spoke up and stood up for myself with the way I was treated by another employee, and the response from my boss was what I should have expected. Okay. Thank you for being real about that, and I'm so freaking proud of you for standing up for yourself, because you didn't stand up for yourself to be received in a certain way, even though you should have been at work, you should have been received, but you stood up for yourself for that little child inside of you that did not have a voice when they were younger. And so this is so much less about the reception of the people that you work with and so much more about the liberation of your voice. Okay? That was a download. Yo, I'm proud of you. Okay? I'm proud of you. Woo! Yo, when you just let yourself be yourself, just things be flowing. Don't you feel it? I feel like I'm flowing more. Like, what? That was a real download for you. I like that. Okay, I had to speak to the inner child for a second, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the energy a lot. Okay, are we speak? I think we're good now. Let's go back to yellow. Yellow is solar plexus, which is for confidence. Okay, so now we open the throat chakra. We opened it up. Look, you guys are talking more. I love it. Now we put on the yellow because the yellow signifies solar plexus. The solar plexus is located right here between your sternum and your navel. This is the energy field for confidence. So when you feel like you have that low confidence, you may feel that pit in your stomach. You may feel the butterflies in your stomach. That is your solar plexus being activated. And so how we talk to ourselves when we get those feelings will start to reprogram the way that we show up in uncomfortable situations. Soon, the things that used to make you really debilitated and nervous and sweating and stuttering, those will just be normal conversations to you because this is your baseline. You're just remembering who you are. You're coming back to yourself. So just know that it's not always going to feel so dysregulating every time you have to do something that's scary. Because once you continue doing it, does it become scary? When you first start riding a bike, it's scary. But then when you ride a bike all the time and you do it all the time, it's not scary anymore. When your friends say, "Hey, meet me over here at the old tree," you don't think 4 years into riding your bike and someone says, "Meet me here." You don't think, "Oh, can I ride it? Am I going back to the beginning? Oh, wait, remember when I couldn't ride it? Remember when I was so scared to ride?" You don't do that 4 years in after riding a bike. You just get on the fucking bike and you ride because it's something that's new. It's not new anymore. It's your new normal. Your new baseline is to not be scared riding a bike because you've done it so much. And then after that, even when you fall on the bike, even after that, when you've learned at it and you have confidence, even when you fall, you may be a little shaky, but you still got the fuck back up with your knee and bleeding and everything. It didn't even stop you back then. What happened to you? You fell out of trees, broke your arm, and the next day your parents literally like, "Sit the hell down. You just broke your damn arm and you're over here trying to climb with one arm. What's wrong with you?" What happened to that person? Where is that person? Damn, as a child, you were so brave. As a child, you were so outspoken. You used to dance in front of a crowd. You didn't care. You didn't care. You did not even care. You didn't care. You literally used to walk into the grocery store doing the worm. Your mom used to get off this damn dirty floor. You used to literally walk in just being like this. What happened to that person? Yo, what happened to that person? You used to not give a fuck. And yes, you do need to have some boundaries now, of course, okay, whatever, but actually, do you? It depends on how you want to be perceived. It depends on how you want to feel. Because there's sometimes where I go in the grocery store and I do some crazy shit and people may say, yeah, I like to dance, but when we're in a grocery store and stuff, like, that's when I kind of like draw the line. Not me. Not me. If I'm listening to my headphones and I'm grocery shopping and it's already overstimulating for me anyway, so I know that I dance to stim and help myself calm down. So since I know that about myself, is it worth it to me to walk around an anxious wreck sometimes in the grocery store versus just bust out a little move while I'm looking for my fruits? Why can't I do that while I'm looking for my fruits? Why do I have to conform to what's normal in society and what's not when I'm doing what's best for me? And what's best for me is not hurting anybody, not bothering anybody. And if it is bothering you, that's something that you got to sit with within yourself. Why do I have to be punished because my joy makes you feel some type of way? Why do I have to punish myself? I don't have to punish myself. Because that's the narrative that I told myself forever, that you can't do this and you can't do that. You're living by arbitrary rules that you're creating for yourself based on how you want to be perceived, period. You want to be perceived a certain way, so you act a certain way. I don't know what else to tell you, okay? So if you feel suppressed and you feel like you're just trapped, that's because you are not letting yourself out. You care too much about what other people think. Look, my jaw, I'm starting to feel like a tension in my jaw. I think that these throat chakras are really open up. I think my throat chakra is opening up. I don't know, but I'm definitely feeling some tension in my jaw right now, right here in the mandible, where the mandible goes here. I've had TMJ since I was little, and I know that TMJ is really common in people who don't speak their truth, who have been suppressed, who have been silenced. So if you've had an ongoing long-term just ache in your jaw, if you've had a lot of pain and tension in your jaw, and it like clicks and it like pops all the time, that may be because you've been so suppressed that a lot of times as children we started grinding our teeth at night. We'd be grinding our teeth because we had so much tension and we had so much anger and we had so much frustration in our bodies that we weren't allowed to release. That at night when we were trying to sleep, we would be grinding and just tensing our mouth so much that a lot of us needed braces. A lot of us chipped teeth. A lot of us have grinded down our teeth. And yeah, so that is definitely something that I've had my entire life. But it's getting better and better the more that I open up and the more that I speak my truth. I definitely don't feel called to do the surgery where they say you have to like break your jaw and do all the things. I'm like, let me just keep speaking my truth and see what happens. It's getting better. But yeah. When you played the frequency, I started crying and also had jaw aches. Wow, you see? Look, I just read that. Look, I swear that I just read that. I did not read this as before I even started talking about this. I promise you, I did not read that comment prior to talking about this. This is so interesting. I just broke both the other day due to excessive grinding. Okay, you see, Demi? You see? There's something to it. My wife grinding her teeth. I know that's from her family dynamic. She doesn't grind all the time. The day that it's quiet, I can tell she's had a good day. Wow, so receptive, and I love how intuitive you are to your partner. That's so beautiful. To be known is such a love language that I need in a relationship. To be known. Take some deep breaths in. Exhale. One moment, let me get my light on. Ooh, my knee is getting a lot better. Ooh. Stretch out my knee. Show you my look for the day. Stretch out my legs. Oh, I gotta have a knee injury that I'm healing from, and I need to like stretch. Oh. See, my inner child needed to do this. You see, if I was worried about how you guys were perceiving me all the time, I wouldn't have got up, and maybe I wouldn't have done this, because I would have been like, babe, what are they thinking? Are they thinking that I'm weird that I got up and did that? Are they blah, 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 blah? You see how you can't be present and in the moment and authentic when you're constantly trying to filter how people are going to perceive you? You see how exhausting it is? I don't even think you realize how much your mind is racing. I don't even think you realize how much you are constantly in the future trying to protect yourself from being perceived a certain way, instead of just being in the moment, and whatever you feel is on you, baby. I said, whatever you feel is on you, baby. I said, whatever you feel is on you, baby. Look, someone could come in right now. Someone could come into the live right now with no context, no background of what I'm doing, and just see me doing this. Look, I'm giving them an opportunity to perceive me however they want. They can come in and say, damn, she's crazy. I'm never going back to that live again. They could say, oh, she's goofy. What's going on here? They could be inquisitive. They could think, oh, she's so stupid. They could be racist. I don't know. They could be anything. But why? What does it have to do with me doing this? In this moment, I'm actually feeling really good doing this. In this moment, I'm actually feeling really regulated. I feel really good moving my hips right now. So should I worry more about how I'm feeling in this moment, or should I worry more about what all of you guys are thinking, all these other things, which is just like, I'm tired. It's like impossible. Why would it's just ruining my time. You know what I'm saying? It's just ruining my time. So like, why? When ultimately it doesn't matter, because I'm still going to do this. I'm still going to do it. I know what could happen. I know the risks. I know the risks. Ugh. Ugh. I know the risks. Okay? I understand the risks. I understand the risks. I've weighed the risks. And I've understood that it's more of a risk for me to not be myself. And I don't know why I'm from Ireland. Okay? I've been to Ireland. Sometimes my channel is just like different places. I think maybe my ancestors are all over the place. And sometimes maybe I have an Irish ancestor that comes through. Oh, Lord, yes. You see, I hope I don't inspire you to be weird. What the heck? Who did this? I didn't want to do that. Who did this? I did not. Why am I sparkling on here? Hold on. Turn it off. I don't want it. This is fun, though. I do actually kind of. This is fun, though. Hold on. Hey. Yeah, anyway, sorry, ADHD. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is why I was being so stern at the beginning, because it is getting old. I'm just, for real. It is getting old talking about it, talking about what you're gonna do, talking about how you're scared, talking about all of it. It's getting tiring. All right. And I'll hold space for you forever. Listen, literally, I understand like the struggles. Trust me, I'm not shaming you. I'm just speaking the energy that I know that I'm feeling on the live. You guys are tired. You're frustrated with yourself. You're tired of hearing yourself speak about what you're going to do. It's just making you feel like you're just like lame. And you're not. I just use that word because it's the truth. It makes you feel like you're just like lame. I'm just, here I am, this person talking about it. Am I really just going to be this person that's just walking around and be like, yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, I got this going on, got this going on. And then you know damn well you go back and just sit there and scroll and you don't work on the things. And it's because you are feeling that shame and that embarrassment within yourself, that you know that you're worth more, and you know that you could do more, and you know that, you know, what am I doing? And that is what you're feeling. And because you're not meant to be comfortable in this chapter anymore. You're not meant to be comfortable. So God, source, the universe is not going to give you pleasant thoughts and feeling good, because you're not meant to feel good when you're over here settling on yourself. Okay, you're not going to feel good in the relationship that is not meant for you. You're not going to feel peace. You're not going to be able to rest. Even when things are going good, you're still going to feel like something's missing, something's wrong. That is your intuition telling you that there's something more in alignment, but you are too scared to let go because you fear the unknown more than you're excited about it. I've really changed my fear of the unknown into excitement, because I know that good things are coming to me. I know that good things are always coming for me. I know that even the bad things that happen are good. I know that they're lessons that I need to learn so I can be a better person. No, it's not, why is this happening to me? Why don't I have any money? No, what do I need to look at closer when it comes to my money? How am I spending my money frivolously? How am I not saving? How am I blowing money? How am I just using my credit card like it's just something I don't gotta fucking pay back, acting crazy? Yeah, those are things I gotta look at too. It's not, why is it happening? No, the bills are coming in, or shit is starting to break down because I need to wake up on how I'm not being responsible financially. And some of you are in the same boat, and you need to be honest with yourself about it. You do. Spending all the money on escapism. Okay? You got to hold yourself accountable in why you are in this situation. You do. You are part of it. It takes two to tango, always. Okay? So the more that you can be honest, and the more you can say, man, I didn't handle this the best, or man, I fucked up with this, or man, I did this, then we can start getting somewhere. Then we can start going back up. But when we're in denial and just over here, woe is me, and I hate this, and why does it always happen to me? Well, why does it always happen to you? Let's really go deeper into it. Why are you always in this situation? Why does this seem like a cycle that you keep going through? What is it that is the thing that's staying constant that needs to change? What is it? These are the questions that we have a hard time asking ourselves, because then the answer is giving up a part of ourselves that we are scared to give up on, even though we know that this part of us is dysfunctional right now. I know this relationship is dysfunctional, but I really like the attention and the dopamine and the feelings that I get from it right now. Okay, so that's letting me know that you're not ready to do what you need to do. So stop asking, why is it like this? And do what you need to do. You know why. All I'm trying to do is help you guys just be more accountable within yourselves, and also just stop saying things that don't make sense. Everything makes sense. You know exactly why. It's because you need to do this or you need to do that. Stay consistent for 6 months and then come back and let's talk, and then we can reevaluate. But like, let's stay consistent for 6 months in something that we say we're going to do. Let's stay consistent for 6 months. Keep that energy for 6 months and something that we say we're going to do, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's eating healthier, whether it's starting to write your book, whether it's starting to produce music and dance, whether it's getting healthy, mentally, physically, spiritual, whatever it is. The consistency is always going to beat the perfection. It doesn't need to look perfect every single day, but the intent needs to be there every day. Showing up for yourself. Doing your best to treat yourself with the utmost respect and love. And that looks like treating your body with respect and love. Having more boundaries around who has access to you. Knowing that it is an honor to be in your presence and grace, and that's not something that you should take lightly with the environment that you keep yourself in. Being more protective of your energy. Hmm. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. One moment, let me go change. TikTok said my shirt was too much. 1 second. I haven't been going live that long since they've changed a lot of things, so I guess you have to wear a certain dress code now. 1 moment. Oh! Okay, maybe this is better. Make sure, that being said, you guys, make sure, if you're on TikTok, make sure that you're following me on YouTube and Instagram, because I will be phasing out of the lives on here. The censorship and everything is just too much. So make sure that you are following me on YouTube and Instagram, because those are going to be the 2 main platforms that I will be going live on going forward. Okay? So make sure that you're there. My website is in my bio, and yeah, you can get all the links for all my social medias there. So back to what we were talking about around what are you waiting for? So I want to hear it in the chat. I want you guys to put it in the chat. What are you waiting for? What do you feel is the main thing that is holding you back from doing the thing? What feelings are you scared of feeling? What shadows come up when you try to do the right thing and then you revert back to doing the old pattern of behavior that you know is not serving you? Talk me through that moment, because we need to get more present with why we are behaving in this way and why it is so hard to honor ourselves and why it is so painful and challenging for us to do what we know we need to do. So I really would love for you guys to reflect on that for a moment and sit with that for a moment and say, why is it? If I know I have such a big knowing that when I let this relationship go, or when I start to focus on my content and start to post it and start to do the things, I know that I'm going to take off, or I know that the love that I'm really truly seeking is going to find its way to me, but absolutely it won't find its way to me if I'm staying in something that's not for me. And so if I know that something's not for me, and I also talk about not having a lot of energy to do other things, or I know that something's not for me, but I still go out and hang out with my friends every single weekend, and I don't feel good, and I don't even feel really seen, and it's just not really an elevating experience for me. Why am I not taking that time from these energy sources that I know are not making me even feel good? They're not even giving me the dopamine that I want. Why am I spending my energy on these things because it's familiar, instead of getting unfamiliar and saying, you know what? I am going to write this book this year. I'm done playing. You know what? I am going to release this EP. I'm done playing. You know what? I am going to start becoming a content creator because my message does matter. And I'm over here talking about I don't have time to do this, do that. It's literally 2 minutes for me to sit down and just speak my truth. I am in my head overthinking it, thinking it has to look this way, looking that way, when really, in reality, all I need to do is sit down, turn my phone on, and start speaking because my message is what matters most. And this is an exercise, exposure therapy for me to get comfortable with myself because I'm so tired of walking around scared to say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing. I feel so anxious living this way. And so maybe if I start just putting myself out there and just put myself in the line of fire to see what it feels like to be judged, to see what people say, maybe I'll be surprised. Why do I always think it has to be so negative? Why am I so pessimistic all the time when it comes to the things that I want to do? Why am I always worrying about what could go wrong? Why don't I ever focus on what could go right? Why? And why can't I be okay with whatever happens? Why does it have to go a certain way in order for me to feel a certain, like, why am I trying to control how I feel all the time? Why can't I just feel it when it comes? Why can't I just post the video and then if someone says, this is a stupid fucking video, why can't I wait till that moment to see how it actually makes me feel? What if it doesn't even fucking bother me at all and I'm over here working myself up for nothing? What if it doesn't even faze me? Or what if it does bother me? What if it does point out an insecurity that I already feel within myself? How can I reframe my thoughts? How can I change my thoughts? Does that mean that because I think something about myself and someone pointed it out that I can never change? Does it mean that I can never get comfortable with this aspect of me? Does it mean that I can never, grow to accept these parts of me so that way when people point them out, they don't bother me anymore? Case in point, my skin. When people used to point out, oh, you're dark skin and blackie and this and that, it used to really bother me. But then when I realized, well, what the fuck? I can't change my skin. I'm not willing to change my skin. So how do I learn to accept this shit so that whenever somebody says something about my skin, I'm not falling into a puddle when it's ridiculous? And so I had to start to learn to love my skin and start to see myself in a more different way and take care of my skin and moisturize my skin and go out in the sun. And I started to feel like I was glowing. And then I started to align myself and surround myself with other Black women with dark skin who love themselves because my environment mattered. Representation matters. Seeing other people love themselves made me feel like, well, why can't I? If they feel beautiful, then why can't I? And so I needed that. And now you could say whatever you want under the sun about my skin. I fucking love my skin. I think it's so beautiful. I don't even want to be lighter. Like how some, we go through that colorism even within our own ethnicity and our own race and our own culture. And, there's a lot of Black people who wish they were lighter. Not me. If I could be darker, if anything, I would love it. But actually, I think it's perfect exactly the way that it is. And if I can't believe my inner teen right now is jumping for joy hearing me speak so highly of my skin when it was something that she hated so much when she was 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And so the way that I'm able to speak about myself right now is goals. It's a flex for me. I love it because this is something that used to get me down all the time. And now I feel so much more powerful within myself since I learned to love and accept these parts that I could not even change. And then realized that the people who were making fun of me and hated it actually got 5 memberships to a tanning bed. So it's fair for me to draw the conclusion that you actually do like dark skin. You just maybe don't like that I have it and you don't. I don't know what it is because that's the only conclusion that I can draw logically because you got 5 memberships. Seems like you want to be dark. But maybe it's just me, but anyway, that's what I'm saying. You can overcome anything, but you really have to, have that mindset, man. You really have to want to. You got to stop being so committed to being sad. Some of you guys are so committed to being sad. You love it. You love it. Okay. You love being sad. You love being angry. You love that there's a problem. And then when you start to heal, you start to look for problems because you're so used to chaos all the time. And that's why you get so bored in healthy relationships because you're like, why the fuck are we not fighting? Do you really love me? And then they're just like, babe, what? We just been hanging out all day. What the fuck? And you start creating drama because you don't even know how to chill. Your nervous system doesn't even trust the safety at first. And it doesn't trust the safety within you. You can't fathom, can you fathom a world where you're not thinking constantly? Can you fathom a world where you're not thinking constantly when you're going on that date, when you're going to an interview? Can you fathom a world where you're just present and you're just like, I have a little nerves, but I think it's going to be great. I'm just going to be myself and whatever happens, happens. Yeah, that is a reality. That is a reality. There is a reality where you can go driving, you can be driving to that date and not be riddled with anxiety because you're not so fixated on being chosen on in the first 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? You can go into dates with the rationale and the understanding and the emotional intelligence that no one's choosing anybody on this date. Especially not me. What the hell? Okay, I'm looking to find my life partner. I'm looking to find my like spouse. I'm looking to find like my partner. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find that in the first 2 hours. Maybe I'll feel it. Maybe I'll feel it, and if I authentically feel it, then I won't shove it down if I authentically feel it, but I'm not going to force it by wearing rose-colored glasses and not speaking my opinion and not saying things that bother me and pretending to be okay with shit. And I'm definitely not doing anything physical. So yeah, I have different things. So since I know that within myself, since I don't feel this pressure, I don't have to feel so nervous. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just going there to be myself. And if you end up liking me and I end up liking you, dope. If we want to do this again, cool. I'm not going there. I'm not being interviewed. Even though it may be an interview for that person, I'm not taking it as such. It's just me. And I love who I am, and I'm okay if they don't. That's why I don't feel anxious anymore. I love who I am, and I'm okay if they don't. That's why I don't feel anxious anymore, because I'm no longer seeking to be chosen by somebody, because I chose myself. I choose me every single day. Good, bad, ugly. I choose me. When I'm angry, when I'm upset, when I'm crying, when I'm doing this, when I'm not, and when I'm in my bad behavior, when I make a mistake, I choose me. So that way, I'm okay if you can't choose this part of me. Oh, when we get to a partner relationship 2 months in and you see, sometimes I do get angry. I'm working on it. I'm working on learning how to regulate myself, but I get angry one time and that's not something you can handle and it triggers you. I'm not mad at you. Thank you for being honest with me. I may be a little hurt because it just triggers a little bit of that, like, I'm not enough and who I am is not enough. But then I snap out of it because I talk to myself and I say, no, you are enough and you're allowed to get mad and it's okay. The person that you're going to spend your life with is going to see you mad and they have to choose these versions of you too. Not that you're going to continue to be abusive and just, this is how I am, I'm just angry. No, but you're working on it and you've been honest about it and you've put it out on the table. And if that's not something that they can accept right now, it is not your job to force them. I don't want any love that's forced. I don't want any love that I have to jump through hoops. I don't want any love where I have to pretend to be somebody I'm not. I don't want any love where I have to shove down my feelings. I don't want any love where I have to pretend that my needs are not valid just because you may not have the capacity to meet them. I don't want that type of love anymore. That was a love that I learned in childhood. And I just don't want it. And look, you guys, look, here it is. Remember what I was saying earlier? Spirit sent us another example on how you can just blow it off. So we have Get Her Done. And he said, or they said, why do blacks get tattoos with a rolling eye emoji? Don't send them any hate. Okay? Just analyze where they're at right now. Just analyze who they are. This is your opportunity to be able to analyze and see, why would someone come into a random live with someone talking and say, why do blacks get tattoos? Think about that. Sit with that. Think about the mindset and the emotional and intellectual level of someone who would say that. And then once you understand the emotional and intellectual level that it's very stunted, then you would say, why would I spend my energy going back or letting someone who has such a low IQ bother me? And then you just keep it moving. And then you go back to what you were talking about, you see, and you can just go like that. And then you just go back to what you're talking about because you've analyzed it. And so then once you analyze it, you realize that it's not worth someone who is where I'm at and what I know to feed into someone that is seeking attention because they don't have attention in their own lives. I'm not the one. But I hope that you start giving attention to yourself because you desperately need it. Also, you can book a call with me if you want to work through it. And I can also talk to you about why I got the tattoos. And then if you want to regulate, you can just do whatever you need to do. And that's it. Your knowledge will always be power. Your knowledge will always be power, and it also allows you to make decisions and choose if you want something to bother you or not, or choose if you want to go there or whatever. You have choices. And so when you have choices, you then become more grounded and more calm, and you make better decisions for yourself, and you become more of a safe place because people see, wow, man, I love how you handled that. And I love how you stayed calm in that situation. And that's all from meditation and breath work and sitting with myself and really knowing who I am. So that way, when someone does try to threaten you or say something to hurt you, you are so grounded in who you are that you don't waver. And that's where you can feel very confident in posting your things. So I really appreciate that that person came and showed you guys a real life example of how you can handle things and not let it shake you. Like, we literally were just talking about how I was so insecure about my dark skin. And then 5 seconds later, someone comes in and says, why do blacks get tattooed? Playing on my skin. Come on. Come on. Spirit couldn't have did that. Come on. You think that's a coincidence? Spirit said, put your money where your mouth is, bitch. Ha. Put your money where your mouth is, bitch. Ha. Put your money when your mouth is, bitch. Ha. Put your money where your mouth is, bitch. Ha. Put your money where your mouth is, bitch. Ha. We gonna see how much you heal about your skin. We gonna see how much you motherfucking heal about that skin. We gonna see how much you love it. We gonna see how much work you really done, bitch, since you wanna talk all this shit on the live. We gonna see how you really feel about it in real time, bitch. Don't let them catch you. Don't let them catch you slipping. That 6 seconds so funny. Spirit was like, oh, word? Oh, you like your skin now. All right, let's send a racist. Bro, the timing is wild. Okay? The timing is wild. All right? But it's just, this is it. It's so fun. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love having choices. I love having options. I love feeling this power within me, y'all. I feel fucking powerful. I feel like that just added another tool to my belt. God, it did the opposite. It did the opposite. I actually feel like, what's that thing, that scion, like, that's how I feel now. I feel like I just integrated. Thank you. Oh my God. I feel like, hey, what up, bitch? Hold on. Let me open the windows. Let me let the light in. Let me let the light in, bitch. Woo! Oh my God. It's so funny. I just think you can't make this shit up. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't make it up. I'm on a live. I can't make it up. People on IG are like, what the fuck's going on? People on IG are just like, what the hell are you talking about, bitch? That's why you need to get the thing that streams everything, okay? I promise I'm going to upgrade, okay? So everyone can see what's going on. But anyway, I love when that happens. So anyway, what are you waiting for? It's time. You cannot let people hold you back. You can't let this, you can't. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Should I shut down my whole life now? Should I stop doing it? Should I give it all up? No. What the hell? Just keep doing you. Just keep doing you, and not everyone's going to like you. The more that you can accept that you're not everyone's cup of tea, the happier you will be. Okay? The happier you will be. Oh my God, I can't play it because IG, I can't play music. IG need to get it together. But it reminded me of the song, I think it's Jill Scott, Crown Royal. Crown Royal. You got to listen to it. Crown Royal. If you haven't heard it, it's a vibe. You will be feeling yourself. I need you to get, your little drink that you like or whatever and listen to Crown Royal, okay? You're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but you are Crown Royal. I need you to start treating yourself as such. Stop letting how people treat you make you define how you act and show up. I still need you to walk with your head up high, even though that relationship didn't work out. Stop letting it all get you down. Yes, feel sad, feel the feelings, but a relationship shouldn't knock your whole entire worth. We can feel sad because we missed the person, because the memories, and because, it was so fun, and maybe, I thought that we were going to be something, and that's disappointing. But it should never be, I'm not a good person anymore. It's because of me. It's because I'm so shitty. It's because I'm ugly. It's because I'm fat. No, that self-deprecation bullshit has got to stop this year, and you know it. You are not any of those things. Stop, okay? Just accept the fact that it doesn't need to be this whole catastrophic thing. You guys are just not in alignment. I don't understand why it has to be so self-deprecating. It just didn't work out. They're not ready for you. You're not ready for them. They fucked up. They did something that was unforgivable, whatever it is. But why does it have to be about you and your character and what you're worth? Why does it always have to go there? And it's because that's how you truly feel about yourself. And then when someone does something to trigger those feelings, you can't help but think that it really is true, because that's what you were made to feel in childhood. And this is why it's so important that you start reprogramming your mind and you start bringing that little inner child out in the forefront and recognize that when you're talking shit, you're really talking to that little child. This is why I help my clients see themselves as a third party perspective. I do. I really, really help my clients visualize themselves as that child, because a lot of you guys, the way that you talk to yourself, the things that you've been through as a child, if you saw an actual child right now going through a fraction of the things that some of you guys went through in your childhood, you would run over and be like, what the fuck? You would save them. You would pick them up. You would cuss out the parent that was hitting them or doing whatever you went through. Let's keep it 100. If you saw some of the abuse that you went through in childhood being acted out right in front of you in real time, and you could do something about it, you would automatically go and try to save that child. You would try to do something to help. You would reprimand the parent. You would try to yell at the parents. What are you doing? Why are you beating that? You would say something. But why do you say nothing and feel nothing when it comes to you? You are that child still. I need the same energy for you. You still are that little child. I don't care how old you are. You will always be that little child. And that is where a lot of us were emotionally stunted, which is why we act so immature in relationships. Be 100 with yourself. You know some of the ways that you've shown up and some of the things that you've said and some of the behaviors that you've exhibited in these relationships are immature as fuck. And it's not to shame you, it's to be real. I've had to say it with myself. I'm immature right now. Like, the more and more I was waking up in my last relationship, the more I was like, yo, I am handling this so immature. Why am I doing this? And why does it feel beyond me? Why does it feel like I can't even control the way that I'm reacting right now? But I'm also aware that how I'm reacting is immature. And I don't want to be this way. I don't feel like a grown-ass woman right now. That's the truth. That was the things that I was saying to myself. And it was just so frustrating. I was so confused. Why am I 34, but I feel like I'm acting like I'm 12? I'm 39 now. I just want to make sure you know. Why am I acting like I'm 12 years old? That was the uncomfortable truth. And if you want to get a copy of my book, Uncomfortable Truth, the link is on my website. There's all these breakthroughs are in my book. They're just one-liners, one thought on each page. You can get through the book in like an hour. There's typos in it, and you know the story, a lot of you. I just want to let you know. But it's my first book. I'm so proud of it, and it's called Uncomfortable Truths. And if you want to support me or my work, that would be a really amazing way. And the link is in my bio. But in my book, that's what we talk about. All these uncomfortable truths that people don't want to sit with. You don't want to sit with the fact that you feel immature and that you're acting immature. You want it to always be someone else, something else, or you want your partner to put up with this behavior because your parents couldn't. You are still trying to get the validation of mommy and daddy through these relationships. And this is why some of you guys feel like a mama in relationships, and some of you guys feel like your partner wants you to be their dad. And that's because we are still trying to get the space and the love and the attention and the validation that we needed in childhood that we still didn't get, but we still need. And now the only person that can truly give it to us is ourselves. Someone outside of you is not enough. It's never been enough. This is why even when people are nice to you and people do give you the loving attention that you deserve, you still find some way to fuck it up. You still find some way to self-sabotage. You still find some way to cause an issue, to make a fight, because you just don't trust it. You just don't trust the love. You just don't trust that someone could actually love who you are, because you have been so conditioned and you've internalized so much abuse over the years that you have not yet processed and dealt with and released, that you are still running on the same program that you've been running on since you were 5 years old. Hence why when you get into these highly triggered states, that subconscious part of you, that 5-year-old, comes out and you start acting very immature and you start making decisions like cheating on people and not being able to use your words and lying and manipulating. It's just a grown-up version of what you were doing in childhood, what you were taught to do when you didn't know how to put all your emotions. And so instead of talking to the person about how you're not happy, and because you know this is going to disappoint the person, but you still have these big desires and needs, you end up cheating. And now you look like the bad person, because really you just don't know how to talk about your emotions. Sorry guys, let me block this spam in here. All right, if you've been getting that thing, I blocked it. Sorry if you guys are getting that. I didn't see it coming in. So yeah, that's it. You are trying to avoid something. That's why you do it. And that's why I can't stand how these internet couples put all their business on here, and then when they break up and then someone happens, like the things that are happening, oh, cheater, cheater. I can't stand how society just casts stones, and just people are just automatically just shunned and never to be seen again, when we all have the capability. A lot of us have done certain things that have been cheating emotionally and physically, and you've buried it so deep down that you forgot that you are capable of doing the same things, and that a lot of us have done certain shit. It may not have looked the same, but there's been violations and boundaries crossed in relationships, and you know it, whether you're talking to somebody inappropriately that you know you have no business talking to, whether you are emotionally investing in someone online when you know you have a whole relationship because you don't know how to talk to your partner and you're using this person as an outlet, whether you are flirting and touching because you are so starved for affection and attention at your home, but instead of being able to talk about that and understand why maybe you're not getting your needs met and why the other person is not feeling seen and heard, you go get the affection and you touch and you flirt with other people to get that need met. Or maybe you're not having enough intimacy in your relationship, and that's how you actually get validation. And because your partner is not feeling it and there's some rift in the relationship, you're no longer being intimate together. And so now, because you need validation so desperately, you go out and you cheat and you get that with someone else, when you really don't understand that the reason why you're cheating is not because you're just an inherently asshole scum of the earth person. It's really because you don't know how to communicate. You're scared of your feelings, and you don't know how to articulate to your partner that this is something that you really need. And you also probably need to get into therapy so that you're not using someone else's body as your validation, because then you're always going to be a cheater, because someone is always not going to be in the mood to validate you, as they shouldn't have to. You know what I'm saying? So there's a reason for everything. And I'm just so tired of people just shunning people off the island for things that we are all capable of doing, things that we have done that we have not wanted to come to terms with. Some of you guys have pointed fingers at cheaters, while deep down, when you were 19 years old, you cheated. I don't care if you were 19 years old, you still did it and you still knew it was wrong. So just because the age, that doesn't matter. That's something that you still need to own and feel and accept. So that way, when you see somebody else who has cheated, instead of trying to shun them and gossip and bring them down, you can relate to them and say, actually, I've done this and I don't think I'm inherently a bad person. Or do you? Or do you? Or do you? Do you think that you are an inherently bad person? Is it because that you've cheated in the past and really hurt somebody, and you don't want to come to terms with it and admit it, that you shove it so far down, and when you see it manifesting outside of you, all you can do is project how you really feel about yourself onto the person who was brave enough to be honest about it? These are the uncomfortable truths that we don't want to sit with within ourselves. These are the uncomfortable truths. I'm writing a second version of these. I have more. Uncomfortable Truths Part 2 is going to be coming out soon. I can't wait to really start getting into this project, because there's more. So many uncomfortable truths. So, Mia, I totally hear what you're saying. Being in a relationship has made my life worse. Being single and loving myself is ultimate peace. So I totally get that perspective and where you're coming from, but it wasn't being in a relationship that made your life worse. It was being in a relationship unconscious that made your life worse. Because being in a relationship can be one of the most beautiful things that anyone ever experiences at times. But when we're in a relationship where we're dishonoring our boundaries, where we're not speaking our truth, where we're tolerating disrespect, where we don't respect ourselves, where we want to be chosen, yes, relationships are the worst. And so that's why when you're single, make sure that you're still being conscious of your behaviors and healing, so that when you get back into another relationship, because we all do desire that. If you do, maybe you don't, but if you still desire to be in a healthy relationship, to make sure that you are coming into it actually healthy yourself, and just knowing that being single and just coasting does not mean that you're really happy. And when you get into a relationship after being single and then you feel like all this stuff comes up, that stuff was there when you were single. You just weren't being triggered and challenged to actually deal with it. So sometimes people mistake that when they're single, they're much happier. No, we're just not being triggered in the same way. You know, we're just not being triggered in the same way as we would be in a relationship. So therefore, these parts of us are not getting the opportunity to be challenged so that we can see them with clear eyes and then heal them, and also recognize that we are the reason why the relationship failed. That's all. But I hear you. I hear you. If you're feeling that way, it's fucking valid, and stay single and heal and do your thing, because you don't have to be in a relationship with nobody. And I think that you are very desperately wanting to heal the relationship with yourself. And that this energy that you're in of not wanting anybody is the exact energy that you need to be in. So I'm proud of you. Honor that shit. But when things change, you will be ready and you will have a new perspective. And I want you to talk to me in like a year and then tell me what's up. Tell me what's up, baby, because you're going to be real confident and you're going to feel good in yourself and you're going to have boundaries and you're not going to tolerate shit, and you're going to be like, oh, I'm not scared of relationships. I used to be scared of myself and not standing up for myself, but now that I do, I'm not scared of shit. I protect myself now, baby. I don't care. You can say the things you want to say to me, but I'm a dip. I'm never going to give you the opportunity to cheat on me and do all these things twice. I respect myself now. I also trust my intuition, even if I don't have proof. So when I start getting these weird feelings and all this stuff, and I confront you or whatever, and it doesn't add up and it's still not adding up, I'm a disconnect, even though I don't have proof, because I don't need to actually see you breaking my heart on the bed for me to recognize who you are. Sometimes the intuition saves us from seeing things we don't want to see, but we need to see it. And so, okay, here it is. How do you feel now? How you feel now that you see it? How you feel now that what you knew is manifested right here in the bed when you walked in, because you thought that they weren't going to be home on the lunch break, but they really were home on the lunch break? You feel better now that you saw it? Maybe some of us need to see it. Some of us need to see the proof. Only to say, I knew it. Only to say, I knew it. Oh, I knew you were doing this. Well, if you knew, how come you didn't care? Just a question. Are you okay over here at IG? Y'all been real quiet. Y'all over here? Am I frozen? IG, what's up? Are you guys over here? I didn't see nothing. You guys okay? What's up? Y'all in the comment? IG, what's going on? Are you guys on here? It says 6. Where you at? Are you getting ready? Are you in the shower? Where am I? I'm at the cubicle. Can you not talk? What's going on? Where you at? IG, how come nothing is going on? What's happening? Oh, welcome, Amy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just speaking the truth over here, and we're just lightening it up. You can get it on my website, Jessica. The link is in my bio. If you guys want to purchase my book, Uncomfortable Truths, it is a book with one thought per page. I am someone who has a hard time reading a lot of words on the page because I'm neurodivergent. So I said I'm not going to write a book that I can't even read. Okay, that don't even make sense. I'm not going to write a book that I don't enjoy reading. So it's one page on a book, and it's literally, I think it's like 150 uncomfortable truths, one after another. And they're just boom, boom, boom. They just be hitting you. So the way that I'm speaking here, it's a more condensed version of that, where you can just get to the truth and then work your way back. Because the way that I designed the book is I wanted to put the thought right there. I wanted to punch you. I wanted to gut punch you with the truth. And then I created a journal so that you can work backwards. That is what works for me. This is the way that I like to coach. I like to give people that answer. I like to help people get to that answer, get that light bulb moment. Now let's work back and understand, deconstruct how we got here, and then let's create a new plan on how we're going to go forward. That's it. Understand the truth, accept the truth. Wow, I get really defensive when people try to tell me things about myself, which makes me an unsafe space in relationships. So even though I tell people that I want them to be honest, when they aren't honest with me, I blow up and I get crazy. Like I black out. If you say something that makes me feel super triggered, or if it makes me feel like you're abandoning me, or gets close to that deep, deep, deep wound, I will black out. I will see red. From one moment, you're my favorite person on the planet, and the next moment, you're my enemy. That is how the dysregulation can happen. Oh my God, I literally talked about Ireland today. Yoga with Vinny. I literally said I'm channeling someone from Ireland today. I think one of my spirit guides are from Ireland. And then you just came in and said, you're from Ireland. I love it. If you were here in the beginning, I've been to Ireland and I really love it. And I hope you have a lovely day. It was so beautiful. The people were beautiful and the land was so beautiful. And I was so welcomed and I loved it. So thank you for joining from Ireland. Hello and hi. What was I saying? ADHD. Dang, what happened? You guys, what was I saying? What was I saying? IG, I still feel like, oh, that's what it is. Oh my gosh. You guys, I had the comments. And it wasn't showing up on IG. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm over here talking shit and you guys are talking, but I had the comments scroll down, and when you do that, it doesn't show the live. It doesn't show the live comments. I'm sorry, my bad. Hey, Cape Town, South Africa, let's go. I've been wanting to go there. I've only been to Morocco, but I really want to go to Sub-Sahara. I really want to go check out some other places. Not being safe in a relationship. Yes, 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 yes. Not feeling safe. Not feeling safe in those relationships. What else was I saying about it though? Go a little bit deeper. What do you mean? But yeah, no, like not feeling safe in the relationship is ultimately coming from not feeling safe within yourself to make the best decisions for yourself. And it's because we get so attached to the outcome when we meet people, especially when we have unhealed trauma and we start to date. That can make us become super desperate. That can make us become super clingy. That can make us go all out in the first 2 weeks because we're trying to prove our worth to the person. We're trying to show them how we cook, how we do this, how we have sex, all the things. We're trying to show them that we're good at this, we're good at that. And this is why you should keep me. And this is why you should choose me. And this is why you shouldn't throw me away. And these are all the things that make me valuable. And we do too much in the beginning. And sometimes it is too intense and it scares people away. And sometimes people can feel that it's coming from a desperate place. It's coming from a place of wanting to be chosen. And so because we don't feel safe within ourselves and because we are so desperate to be chosen, we think that this is the end all be all to our happiness, that we will do anything that it takes to be happy, which we correlate with relationship. And then a lot of us get into relationships and then we say it's the worst and I'm so unhappy and I this and that. And it's because the relationship with yourself is not healthy. The relationship with yourself is not healthy. And it's been really hard for you to admit that because there's just a part of you that wants it so badly to be someone else because you've been told that it's just you. You have such a limited belief that you're the reason that you and your dad are not close. You're the reason that your mom is not proud of you because you didn't do enough, because you didn't do this enough. And so because you have not closed out that wound with mom and dad, everyone else is a pillar from that. Everyone else is a derivative of the deep pain that you feel with mom and dad. So once you get to the root and heal the root and take your power back from dad and take your power back from mom, all these other relationships and all these people that are not even close to the connection that you have with your parents, they become insignificant in that way. And not that they don't matter, but the deep connection that you have to them validating you goes away because ultimately the validation that you really wanted was mom and dad's. So that's why I help my clients skip all this other stuff, all the steps. Okay, you're in this relationship. We get it. Why? Why do you choose this person? I don't want to hear about what the guy did. And we can talk about it. Of course, I'm never going to shut you down. But ultimately, at the end of the day, when you're really ready to move on, it doesn't matter all these things that they did. We need to validate it. We need to feel it. But at the end of the day, what matters more is why you thought that you deserved this. That's the mindset that we have to heal, or you're going to go out and attract it right over again. So yes, they did this. They did that. They did this. They did that. That's horrible. Yes, they did this. They did that. That's horrible. Okay. Why do you continue to choose people that treat you this way? There must be some fundamental idea in your head that makes you feel like this is safety, that this is familiarity, that this is what you really want, that this is what you deserve. Because it's not what you want. Because if it's what you wanted, why are you here crying to me? If this is what you want and they are who you want, why are you here crying? Why are you here so upset? Why have you not just accepted who you have chosen? And that's because you're not choosing who you're seeing in the moment. You're choosing a version of them that they could be in the future, which lets me know that maybe you're not in love with who this person is. You are in love with the story of who you've told yourself they could be if they've done all these things to change. So why are you in a relationship with somebody that you want to change everything about them? And then you're calling that love. You're saying that that's love. Okay. Because I wouldn't feel loved if you came into my life right now and said, hey, Kristen, do you want to be friends? But in order to be friends, I think that you need to stop wearing this. And I really don't like how you dress. And I wish you didn't talk so much. And really, you post a lot of videos. So kind of calm down on that. And when we go out, I just wish that you wouldn't always flirt. I would say, okay, you don't really like me. That's what I'm gathering. What? Okay. But because you meet people and you're attracted to people that are also trauma bonding, they're trying to prove their worth and do all these things to you too, instead of standing strong in who they are and saying, hey, this is who I am. I am someone who's really flirty. I am someone who does this. And if you don't like it, then maybe I'm not the person for you. People are not honest. People are not confident in just being who they are. Yeah, I am a flirt and I like flirting, and that's not something that I feel like I have to sacrifice just to be in a relationship with you. So I'm going to keep flirting, and if you don't like it, you should leave. No, the person says, okay, I'm sorry, but then they still do it behind the person's back, and when they get caught, they say, okay, I'm sorry, and then when they still do it, and they do it behind the person's back, and they get caught, and then they say, okay, I'm sorry, and then when you keep saying sorry without change behavior, that's a form of manipulation. I'll say it again. Saying sorry without change behavior is a form of manipulation. This person is just telling you what you want to hear, and you eat it up, even though the actions are not matching. And that's because you want them to choose you more than you want to respect yourself. That is point blank. Because clearly they're showing you that they don't care that them flirting hurts your feelings. So the ball's in your court, babe. The ball's in your court. This is that honesty. This is that truth that people run from. Because I don't want the ball to be in my court. I don't want the ball to be in my court. I want you to just change so that I don't have to get uncomfortable and walk away. That is page 30 in my book. That's page 30 in my book, I think. I'm not sure. No, you don't want to get uncomfortable and walk away. That's why you want them to change so desperately. Not because you think they're the love of your life, but the disconnection. That's what scares you. How am I going to feel when they're no longer my possession? How am I going to feel when I can no longer control them? How am I going to feel when I can no longer make sure that they don't get with anybody else, because the thought of them being with somebody else makes me fucking sick. Guess what, babe? They did it while you were with them. So of course they're going to do it now that you're not with them. You tolerated while they were with them. They did it while they were with you. So yeah, they're going to get with another person after you. You already know this. The delusion, the lack of radical acceptance is why you're stuck. The radical acceptance that you cannot accept is why you're stuck and why you are so scared of feeling the pain. Accept it. Don't look away from it. Yes, they are going to date somebody else. Yes, they are going to hold someone's hand the same way they held your hand. Yes, they are going to look at you the same way they look at somebody else the same way they looked at you. Yes, they are going to hug you and hug the other person the same way. Yes, they are going to do this and be intimate. Yes, think about it. It's reality. The more that you can make peace with that reality and stop trying to spin the narrative on where they come back and now we're twin flames and we're really just in separation and this is just a twin flame and they're going to wake up. That's keeping you stuck to the energy. You might as well just be there with them physically still. You have to completely accept the reality energetically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. Let go. If they are meant for you, you guys will find your way back at a point in time where you can actually handle each other. But right now, you can't. And that's the truth. That's the uncomfortable truth that you don't want to sit with. And the part about separation is a part in the twin flame journey that you keep overlooking. For those of you that really resonate with the twin flame journey, you know the big part about separation. Stop trying to bypass it. Stop trying to say, I'm going to be the one. Stop trying to find the one twin flame story that they don't separate. I know what you're doing. Stop trying to find and scour the internet for the one story of where they are able to make it and be happy without separating. Stop. I know you're trying to find it because you don't want to accept the truth that you have to let go. I've done it. I've been there. I know. Let go. That's the whole point, for you to stand on your own and become your own individual self, standing on your own 2 feet, not needing anything to complete you because you recognize that you are already whole. You don't recognize that you're already whole because you are so attached. And that is always going to be repelling. It's always going to be repelling when someone knows that you need them to complete yourself. That is very intense. That is very heavy for someone to know that if I make a decision, this person is not going to be able to live without me. That's scary. That makes people feel very overwhelmed. And it makes you seem very unstable, which it is, very unstable. And that's an uncomfortable truth that you got to sit with. All right, my legs. Whew. Y'all, this knee need to heal. My hamstring is so tired. Happy early birthday, Jess. So yeah, guys, if these uncomfortable truths are things that you think you need to hear and you want to hear more uncomfortable truths or read more uncomfortable truths, check out my book. Like I said, there's typos in it, and I'd love for you to point them out and let me know, because I'm actually going to be redoing it. So anyone who gets the book now, Before I redo it, we'll have the first version that has typos because I was writing the book simultaneously while my dad was dying in the hospital. And I just something in me was like, no, don't postpone it. Don't give up. You need to keep writing this book. And my dad didn't want me to stop writing it either, even though he was really, really sick. So I was going back and forth to the hospital, sitting with him and trying to be there for him. But I had my laptop while he was sleeping, while he was like in the like incapacitated, like with the breathing machine and stuff. I'd be writing my book and I was trying to edit. But you guys, I got so tired and I didn't have the money to pay an editor. And I didn't have the money to pay an editor. And then my sister, my mom, who were going to help me edit, they were also dealing with my dad. So I didn't feel right to say, hey, sis, I know your dad's dying too, but you want to edit my book? There was no way I was going to ask my sister. She was so overwhelmed. So I just was up until like 3 in the morning some nights just trying to do it. And you know how your brain, like, even though you can see the typos, your brain like corrects it in your head. My brain does that all the time. That's why I need an editor so bad. You can order on my website, Angie. The link is in my bio. But that's why I need an editor, because like when I see the typo, I'll just correct it and be like, okay, good. And that's what I did. And so there's a few typos. And I just like to tell this story because I know there's a lot of people who want to write and a lot of people who are dyslexic and a lot of people who are neurodivergent. And for me, it makes writing really challenging because I just go way too fast. I don't see typos. I just go too fast. I need to slow down. I know what to do. I just need to slow down, but I just get excited. And I need an editor. Like 100%, I need an editor. But anyway, I like to tell the story just to show that, you know, as an author, releasing your first book with typos, you would think that would be like career. Oh my God, I'm mortified. But it was so much less about like, oh, this is the perfect book and I'm coming in New York Times bestseller. It was more just like showing up for the little girl that wrote a book a long time ago that no one really cared about. I wrote a book when I was in 5th grade and no one made a big deal about it. And I think that really crushed my spirit a little bit, that I didn't get the reaction that I needed, I guess, for doing something that I thought was really, really cool in 5th grade on my own without being told. It wasn't an assignment. It was something that I genuinely wanted to do because I was inspired by the Goosebumps series. I don't know if anybody has read the Goosebumps series when they were younger, but they were my favorite book series. And I wrote a book like kind of copying that, like my own edition. And it was so cool and no one really cared. And I think that kind of like made me say, maybe I'm really not that good at writing. And so all my life, I just didn't do it. And then I got to the point where I'm like, no, I do want to write. I do love writing books. I do want to help. I do want this. And then I wrote the book. And it's still very valuable. And the message still gets across, even though there's typos in it. And so I'm just here to tell you that you don't have to release something that's perfect. It still can be received. You guys still read it. You guys still know the books. You guys still talk to me and tell me that it is impactful for you, even with the typo. And, you know, I am going to correct it because I do want to, you know, just have that version. But the people who supported me and the people who have the book now are going to have the only version in the world. And I know that my book series and on the books that I write are going to be part of my legacy. And I know that I'm going to be a famous, well-known author, and through my self-help books and the way that I write, I know that I'm going to be. But the people right now who have Uncomfortable Truths, this version, will always have that very first version of me, who was brave enough to still put it out there, even though I know there was mistakes, and not just put it out there to a few people, put it out there to the world where people could judge me. There's some people that will never buy another book from me again because there was a typo in my first one. That's the truth. There's some people that are like, you know, there's some people that they saw that first book from me and they saw a typo and they just immediately don't take me seriously anymore. I'm aware of that. And that's okay, because I still take myself seriously and I know where I'm going, and I know that I'm only going to go up from here and I'm only going to improve. And I give myself permission to make mistakes out loud, and with the hopes that other people give themselves permission to do the same, because it's the only way that we're going to learn and grow. And it's the only way that we're going to get thicker skin. It is. I've read some of the book reviews on Amazon, and some of them I was just like, ooh, I need that thicker skin. I need to hear the feedback. And it's also going to help me be a better writer, to understand what my readers are needing more of. And so it's like, I got to be able to take that criticism and deliver things that are the best for my audience too, while still staying true to myself. So I'm really learning, and it's helping me have thicker skin, which is helping me be a better person and be more well-rounded, and also not be so scared to take risks because I'm okay with what may come afterwards. I'm okay. Like, I'm okay with the feelings. I'm okay with, you know, the whatever. I know how to sit with the disappointment. I know how to talk to myself now. I'm not going to tear myself up anymore. I'm not going to cuss myself out anymore. You know, I can acknowledge and say, okay, this is where we need to do better. Okay, like now on, you need to save money to invest in an editor. It's non-negotiable. You know that how your brain works. You know that you read too fast, and you know 100%. This is why people have professional editors, because you get tired and it's just hard. You need a fresh set of eyes. So from now on, you will save and put in the budget editing. If you can't afford anything else in the publishing process, you will make room and make a budget for editing. And that's it. It doesn't have to be this whole thing. That you can deal with yourself like that. You don't have to dwell on it for months and months and months and call yourself stupid and do all the things. You don't have to you don't have to go through all that, because that's not how you wanted your mom to show up. That's not how you wanted your dad to show up. So why do you keep showing up for yourself like that? You wanted your mom to be nurturing and say it's okay, like, and still hold you accountable and push yourself, but you wanted your mom to say, hey, I'm still so proud of you that you put that book out, okay? With just because you have a few typos does not mean that your work is not profound and substantial and that it matters, okay? So now we just know going forward, we're gonna get an extra set of eyes, and if you need me to sit here in the kitchen with you, I'll do that because I support you and I love you. That's you ultimately saying, okay, I'm gonna save money for an editor. If it's not mom that's actually doing it, it's just you saying, okay, i'm gonna I'm gonna save for an editor. You see? Because maybe mom wasn't good at editing. Maybe mom's like, and you know, honey, I'm not good at this stuff either. Writing's not my forte, but you know what I'm gonna do to support you? I'm gonna help you pay for your editing. That's what I'm gonna do, okay? Because I don't want you to give up on yourself and blah 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 blah, whatever it is. You see how that support is just like, okay, I made this mistake. I acknowledged that I gotta do better, and I'm still loved. I'm still supported. I'm not a fuck up. I'm not gonna never write books again. I'm still gonna write books. I'm still gonna get on that bike. I'm still gonna get back up on the bike, and I'm still gonna keep pedaling, because I know that just because I made this mistake or whatever happened doesn't make me incapable of riding a bike. It doesn't make me incapable of writing a book that doesn't have any typos. I am very capable of writing a book with 0 typos, absolutely. But I'm also going to make sure that I'm not writing my book simultaneously while I'm going through a huge fucking life event. Even though I wanted to push myself and keep going, and I'm very proud of myself for being able to do that, I can also recognize there is a time to say, hey, my dad is dying. I do think that I need to push this out a little bit. That is okay too. That's totally okay to recognize that too. That would have been completely valid. Actually, that would have been expected by a lot of people. I think a lot of people expected me to just kind of postpone my book, because my dad went into the hospital on 9/19, which is a number that I had tattooed on myself 5 years before it happened. Really weird. I got this tattoo of 9/19 because this number kept following me, following me, following me. And so I got the number 9/19 tattooed in like 2020 or something. No, not that long ago, 2022. And then in 2024, on 9/19, September 19th, my dad fell and went into the hospital and never came back out. And my book was set to be released on 10/10, October 10th. That just came to me. I'm like, October 10th. Do you know on October 10th, a hurricane hit Tampa and I had no power? My dad had a like really, really scary surgery. I was like, maybe 10/10. And then my book came out. I was like, oh, great. My book came out. So you can imagine, with my dad in the hospital fighting for his life, I literally have no power and my whole city is shut down on the book release. I was just like, maybe I wasn't supposed to release this book. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't. And then a month and 10 days later, my dad passed away. And so I didn't even care about the book when it came out. I didn't even throw myself a party. I didn't even do a book launching. I didn't do anything because I was just like, all right, the book's out, whatever. And I just didn't, I don't know. And so I still think that I want to like do something for myself and still celebrate myself in a bigger way for releasing my book. But just the whole chaos and the stuff with the funeral and the dad and the grief just kind of took over, and then I just had to keep working. So I really kind of feel sad that my first book, I didn't really make a big deal about it. And then when I saw like the typos, I was like, okay, it's definitely not worth it. And I went into that a little bit, but now I'm trying to bring myself out and say, no, I still wrote this and it's still important. And I tried really hard and I did it, and I'm really proud of myself. There's not a lot of people who can say that they actually published it. You have people who have had books on their computer for 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. And, you know, and, yeah, like, and they've never had the courage to actually let it out into the world. And here I am. I'm just like, here you go. Here's my work. I'm still proud of it. I think that it's profound. I think that the way that I wrote it is so impactful. I think that it's one thought on the page, but that one thought will send you down weeks. One page will send you down weeks of deliberation. One page will send you down months of reflection. One page can change your complete perspective. That's how powerful it is. I believe in my book so much, even with the typos, because the truth is the ultimate thing that sets us free. And if you can be there reading it on a page, you can't unsee it. And so maybe it's a little more comfortable than someone standing over you saying, yeah, you do have this, but maybe you can read it in the morning while drinking some tea, being prepared, being ready to really face certain parts of yourself in this journey and say, okay, I'm turning to page 130. It's a type of book that you can kind of just scan through it. And you just say, all right, wow, okay. Actually, let me pull a couple pages. Would you mind if I pulled a couple pages and see what resonates with you guys? I can pull a couple pages of it. Ooh, I'm sweating. I can put, maybe because I'm really excited talking about my art. Got me sweating, y'all. Yeah, maybe I can pull a couple pages for you guys and you can see for yourself what I'm talking about and if it resonates. And like I said, I'm not going to leave you. I didn't leave you hanging with just the book, because the book is just strictly the truth. There's nothing with it. I created a journal with very intuitive questions to help you get to the understanding, because the truth is just one thing, but you got to understand it. I need you to understand it. I can't just tell you, oh, you have father wounds because your dad was never around, and this is why you chose emotionally unavailable men. Okay. All right, let me really get to it. And so then I give you questions that help you understand, oh, this is why I never set boundaries. Oh, this is why I was scared to speak my truth. Oh, this is why I've been silent this whole time. This is why I people please and like I feel like a doormat all the time. Oh, it's because of this. And the reason why I didn't set boundaries is because when I was younger and I tried to set boundaries, I was literally met with physical abuse. So I have PTSD to set boundaries. I literally have PTSD when it comes to setting boundaries. I'm not just this weak ass, this weak pushover. I'm not just this inherent little doormat, just like fucking weak ass person that I've been portraying myself for people that have, no. I literally feel scared to set boundaries. Okay, so now that I've gotten to the root and I understand, okay, now how do I start reprogramming? How do I start making sure that I'm in safer environments? How do I start making sure that I align myself with people that don't make me feel unsafe? Oh, I need to get out of this relationship. That's the whole reason why I'm so triggered in this relationship, is because every time I try to set a boundary, they don't listen to me, and they make me feel like I'm wrong, and they don't honor my boundaries, or they yell at me. So yeah, of course I don't feel safe in this relationship, and it's not because something's wrong with me. It's because this person doesn't honor my boundaries. So then I go even deeper. Why am I with this person? Have I communicated with them? Am I avoiding communication? Have I actually had a conversation with them about this boundary? Oh, there's another shadow. Avoid it. You see? You see how just one page can just help you open up of why you act this way? And then once you understand why, then you can offer yourself grace and compassion, because you can see that the reason why you're behaving this way is because of a need that was not met in childhood that you were deserving of being met. So yeah, I'm still lacking something. I still feel like I'm lacking something. But now I learned that I can give it to myself. That's the beauty of it. That's the power. I don't need anyone to feel happy. The happiness comes from making decisions that are in my best interest. The happiness comes from being real with myself. The happiness comes from going towards my dreams and not doing something that is killing my soul because it's safe or because mom and dad approve of it. I'm no longer living my life for mom and dad. I am living my life for me. And who I am does not want to be a doctor. That was Dad's dream because Dad didn't feel confident enough to go to medical school, or Dad didn't have enough money at the time to go to medical school. So he projected that dream on me, and he told me at a young age, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a doctor. So Dad low-key indoctrinated me to do this. Dad low-key conditioned me to be a doctor because I saw as a child how much weight it was, how much pressure, how much of his happiness was dependent on me doing this. And I didn't want to let Dad down because I love Dad. And I just want Dad to love me. And I created a limited belief that if I didn't become a doctor, Dad was not going to love me. And all I want is for Dad to love me. So here I am, a doctor. I did it. And Dad's so proud when he saw me walk, and Dad's so proud. But why do I feel like something's missing inside? I'm so happy that everybody is clapping for me on this stage, but how come it doesn't feel like what I thought it was going to feel like? Why don't I feel this pride within myself? And does that matter? Does that matter? Quickly, I'm asking you. Let me get my book. Ooh. Woo. Woo. Y'all get me riled up. Y'all get me riled up now. Y'all get me riled up now. Hey, y'all get me riled. Let me stop, because this is why my knee's not healing. Okay? This is why my knee not healing, because the doctor said, here's a stabilizer that you need to keep on here. And I said, I can't move. And they said, that's the point. We don't want you to move. We want you to stabilize your knee. And I said, but I can't twerk. And they said, that's the point. We don't want you to move. We want you to stabilize your knee. And I said, but I can't do this. And they said, that's the point. We don't want you to move. We want you to stabilize it. Okay? Oh my gosh. So I'm over here talking about, why is it taking so long, Doc? Why the fuck it taking so long? Because, bitch, you can't stay still. Well, you need to give me something else. All right? But anyway, it is doing better. You were low-key a doctor, just an energetic, spiritual sense. You were healing us all. Oh, I love you. I love you. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Levi. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for all the things. And TikTok got me right. They said, listen here, we going to keep you at 20 people in here unless you cover them titties, okay? And then now it's going up. Damn. They told me. They said, girl, in 2026, your titties need to be in. All right? All right. So here we go. Thank you. You told me. Oh, here's the book. This is what it looked like. This is just a sample. I need to go get the journal. I just didn't want to go get it. This is like a sample. It's not going to have that line through it. But here's what it looks like. Here's what it looked like. Here, look. Here's a journal. And here's me on the back. This is my first book and my first journal. And you guys, not only did I publish this while my dad was passing away, doing all those things, I simultaneously published this too with coloring book pages and everything, y'all. I was working. And you know, I didn't start working on this project until July 8th. I didn't start really focusing on this July 8th, and it was out on 10/10, bitch. I wasn't playing. So when I tell you, you can release a book in 90 days, bitch, you can release a book in 90 days. Half of you guys already have the book. You already have the book written. All these captions and these posts. Have you ever looked at some of the captions that you guys write? Some of you guys are amazing writers. And some of you guys are articulating yourself better through writing than you do speaking. And that's okay. Some of you guys are putting so much pressure on yourself to do content like this. And maybe speaking is not your forte right now. Maybe the best way that you're in a season of articulating yourself through writing. So maybe that you need to be having a Substack. Maybe you need to get a Substack and charge a monthly membership fee for people to read your beautiful blogs and your work. Maybe the best way to articulate yourself right now is through writing. Maybe you're trying to force yourself through a medium that is not resonating with you right now, and that's why your creativity is not flowing. Did you know that you're multidimensional and that you are a painter, a writer, a singer? Did you know that you actually have a lot more than you realize? But just because you're not singing like Whitney Houston, then you're not a singer. But just because you don't sing like Mariah Carey, then you're not a singer. Stop comparing yourself. You have your own unique, beautiful voice. And not everything is singing for the ego, for validation. Your voice is really beautiful, and maybe your voice is supposed to be like ancestral, doing those ancestral. Maybe you're not supposed to be doing this. Maybe you're supposed to just be yodeling. Maybe you're supposed to just be like, maybe I'm supposed to be on here. Maybe I'm just supposed to be doing that. Why are you overthinking it? Maybe that's what I'm just supposed to be doing. Maybe I'm speaking to myself. I love singing. Yeah, Chandra Shiva. That's the person. That's exactly who I was thinking about. You're in my head. How did that sound, you guys? I was just over here showing you something, but did you feel something from it? Did you feel something from that? I don't consider myself a singer, but I really enjoy singing. Is that enough? I don't consider myself a great singer, but I really enjoy singing. Is that enough? I don't consider myself a great singer, but I really enjoy singing. Is that enough? Is that enough? The way it makes me feel versus what it sounds like to you. Hi, I know. Okay, let's go. You need to release it. I have to check. I have to go look at your message. I think you sent me something. It's enough? Oh. Hey girl, it's been a while. It has been a while. Just go head over to my website and then you can do connect with me and then you can book whatever you'd like. I like that. That felt really good. Maybe we do some humming today. All right, let's open these throat chakras. As long as you are feeling happy while doing it, that's what matters. Okay, well, I feel really happy right now, so let's do it again. All right, let's hum it out. Let's ohm it out together. Feel the vibration through your heart chakra. Feel the vibration. It can completely change your entire frequency. Deep breath in. Crescendo, the longer that you can last. So I learned this through music and playing the clarinet. When you don't exude so much air when you are ohming, that's how you can last longer. So taking that deep grounding breath in through your nose and then slowly and you'll start to gauge. And this is the breath work. This is what breath work has helped me with, being able to hold my breath longer. So let's practice that again. Going slower on the inhale and then really being mindful to slow down the ohm. Don't let all your air out right away. Okay? Deep breath in. Thank you. Deep breath in. Exhale. Let it go. I'm happy that I don't see any comments. That means a lot of you are maybe participating. I always tell y'all, we're doing breath work. Don't be commenting because you should be doing the breath work. I'm happy that I don't see no comments. Good. I I hope you participated. How did you feel? If you were able to go through that, you're not at work. I know if you may be at work, it may be weird, but I think you should do it at work. I think more people need to be doing some ohms in the cubicle. I hope that you do it. I hope you start to normalize it. I hope you start to share your gifts and your magic with the society and the world. And I hope that we can start to normalize taking care of ourselves in this way, because it is necessary and it does matter and it does help us get through the day. So if you were able to participate in it, how are you feeling now? How are you feeling now? I joined halfway, but I think it was amazing. You're welcome. You're welcome. How you feeling now? Who else was able to do some of the oming? How did it feel in your body? How did it feel in your chest? You feel so connected. Yay, I love that, Leo. We love feeling connected. My body feels more regulated. You're welcome. Emotional regulation. You can do this on your own. I have music on Spotify. It's called Om in the Park. It's like 20, 30 minutes that you can just have. Amazing. It feels okay, cool. Start to listen to this. I mean, I know that sometimes we go to the gym or we go to work and we listen to the vibe, but try listening to the frequencies. Try listening to some of my music while you're at your desk and see how it really makes you feel. Feels like we're all connected. I love that, because we are. And yeah, try it out. Listen to some. I have 3 songs so far out. 3! You guys, I wrote a book. I'm a published author. I have produced music. I have public speaking. Well, I'm getting into public speaking is next. Like real public speaking in front of the public. Not that y'all aren't real, but like in-person public speaking. I'm a content creator. I write poetry. I just play music. I'm learning how to DJ. Every single thing that I've wanted to do as a child, I'm doing as an adult, because I realized this plan B is for the birds. Plan B, I didn't even try plan A. Y'all told me I need to do this and get your degree. For what? I don't need it. Half the stuff that I'm talking about is through experiences. So many people think that I've read books and books and books on psychology, and I haven't actually read one. I've never read one book on psychology. I've never read one book on the human mind or this. I do have my degree in criminology, but it didn't go into the human mind in this way. I wish I would have done my degree in forensic psychology, because I would love to get into the mind of serial killers. It's so interesting to me, because everyone starts out as this little child, and I need to know how you got here. I need to know what term of events led you to this. And I also know that there's still some goodness within you. And I know people think I'm crazy when it comes to that, but I do think that there's good in everyone. And I think people are really, 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 really abused and hurt at a very young age. And some people do not have the mental grit and the capacity and the brain capacity to get through it. And I think people snap, and things that happen, people have a breaking point, and everyone's breaking point looks different, and it is at different points. And that's why I'm so grateful that I do have emotional high pain tolerance, where I was able to get through some shit that I look back and I'm like, how did I get through that? And then I look at other people and I'm like, look how they're dealing with the same things that I went through. Look how they're dealing with it. And I'm not shaming or comparing, but it just shows, because I've dealt with addiction. I deal with addiction. So I'm not sitting here saying I'm not this, but I do have support in a different environment, and that's where some of us are different. Or I could be right on the streets in Skid Row, but because I have a mother that loves me, because I have a sister that would never let that shit happen, because I have family and friends that would never let that shit happen unless I literally fought them and just finally just said, leave me alone, I want to be on the streets. Like, it would have to take me literally fighting them and punching them out for them to be okay with me just being on the streets. And not that anyone's okay with their loved one being on the street, because some things you just can't help. You can't change, like mental health and stuff is just really the correlation between homelessness and mental health and addiction. All of it, it's mental health. And so I'm just really grateful that I have that support and that feeling and that family around me, where some people don't have one person to call. And this is part of the reason why I show up here every day. And there's times where I'm like, man, I don't really get paid for doing this. It's a lot of energy that I put out, 4 hours of my time. And sometimes it's a great way for people to get to know me, and obviously to learn more about my business. And so ultimately people do go to my workshops and do different things, and that's great. But the real reason why I love getting on here is because I know that maybe I'll be that one friend for that person. I want to be that one friend for that person that says, hey, I see you, I understand you. And then people say, no, you don't understand me. And this is why I feel so called to go so deep into the shit that I've done and go get so real about my shadows, because I need that person who is on the brink to know, no, I do. No, I have been with the sexual abuse, and I have done the debate. I have been it. I've done it. No, I do know. Let me tell you how much I do know. I did watch certain videos as an adult with so much shame. Stepdad with teen daughter. Do I need to say more? Why am I looking at this? This is a crime. Why is this something that really attracts me? Why is this something that really gets me going, looking at these dynamics that I know are not good? Oh, because I'm dissociating from the fact that that was my first introduction into intimacy. Stepdad, teen daughter. The shame that I felt over the years that this is what I was looking at in the shadows of my room when no one was watching. And the fact that I'm telling you about this on a live where so many people could judge me. But the truth is, I know that I'm not alone in this. And so with that fact is my confidence to speak the truth, even if no one can agree with me, even if no one is brave enough to raise their hand and say, guess what? I looked at that too. I know that it still exists, whether someone says it or not. I know that I'm not the only one. And I know that I'm no longer going to suffer in my silence. And I know that people are also suffering in this silence. So I'll be the person to break the ice. I'll be the person to say it first. I'll be the person to let it all out so that you can feel more comfortable to do the same. I'll do that. I'm okay with that. As long as you get the help that you need. As long as you stop walking around thinking that it's your fault. As long as you stop walking around with this shame on your back and this blame and this guilt that you're some bad person when really you were victimized and you were violated and you were disrespected. That's the truth. And maybe that you don't want to accept that truth because it's easier for you to blame yourself than to have to look at your father a different way. It's easier for you to carry the pain than for you to have to look at your mother a different way. It's easier for you to carry the pain on yourself than for you to have to look at your grandfather or your mother or your niece or your aunt or whatever, whoever did it. It's too painful for you to accept the reality that maybe you're in a family that has pedophilia. It's too painful and shameful for you to acknowledge that you come from this because maybe somebody will think that I'm like this too. And if people know that I come from this, maybe people will be scared to be intimate with me because they'll think I'm also a monster. And people will judge me and they won't want me around their children and they won't want me around, the kids because they'll think I'm going to be like this too because that's what people say. When you come from it, you act like that. When really, one thing that my degree did teach me, that it's less than 3% of people that actually do that. It's something really low. It's not just a thing. Oh, everybody does it. So if you're abused and you're raped, you're going to be a rape. That's not true. That is far from the truth. But society has that stigma and society just speaks on things that they really don't know about. And so it causes this inherent shame in us that if people think that, or people know that I've been a victim of abuse, that I'm just going to perpetuate it. And so then maybe someone wouldn't want to marry me because they think I don't want to marry somebody that can potentially hurt our kids. You don't think I think about that? You don't think these are things that have carried shame with me for so long? And I know they do with you too. That's the reason. There's so many other reasons why you don't say shit. Let's get to the root of what it is. You care how people are going to be perceived. You care how people are going to perceive you. That's what we started this whole live with. We started this live with that very statement. You care so much about how you're perceived that you are willing to suffer in silence to make sure that you are in control of that perception. Did you hear me? You care so much about how you're being perceived that you are willing to suffer in silence to stay in control of that perception. That is something that you are doing, whether you're conscious of it or not. But now you're aware of it because now you've been told. You can't unhear what I'm saying, just like you can't unread what I've written. All you have to do now is sit with it. All you have to do now is the journey of accepting it. That's what the journey is now because you've heard the medicine. The medicine has been here. You can't unhear it. You've gotten the medicine. Now all you can do with the medicine is sit with it and let it simmer. That's it. Sorry. I've revealed what you haven't wanted to be revealed. I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry because the truth does set you free, even though these next few months may be painful. I'd rather you go through pain for a couple months than another 20 years. You hear me? I'd rather you go through conscious pain for the next couple months, even a year, than you to go through this numb, void, suppressed version of yourself for another 20 years. I'd rather you feel something than nothing because that's what you've been feeling for the last 20 years. I'd rather you scream and cry and rip the paintings off the wall. At least you'd be feeling and honoring something that makes sense because you should be angry about what happened to you. You should feel angry about the things that have happened to you. You should feel upset about those things. You are valid about feeling upset about the violation that you've gone through in childhood and the way that it's impacted you sexually as an adult. You have every right to be angry. You have every right to feel sad. You have every right to feel confused. You have every right to feel disgusted. You have every right to feel all the things that you've been suppressing but showing throughout this time. Your feelings have been shown. You just haven't been direct with them. Hi, babe. My bestie's on. Hi, Natasha. Hi, Amelia from the Netherlands. I love the Netherlands. I went to the Netherlands. The Netherlands was the first place in Europe that I ever went. It was my first international travel trip and I loved it. And I went there and I really enjoyed the people and the history and the culture and it was beautiful. And I love riding bikes and I love the countryside and I got lost right when I got there. I took the train going the opposite direction of Amsterdam and I was like, man, there's just all these cows and all these fields out here. Where's the city? I thought Amsterdam had the city. And then I realized, oh my gosh, we went 1 hour in the wrong direction. So that was my first stop. Right when I got off, I'm like, oops. I didn't know what train station to take to get to the thing because I didn't speak Dutch. I was trying to learn. I promise. But I really loved it, and your country is really beautiful. Here's what the book looks like. Okay, I don't know where it was. I got ADHD again. You see, it only reveals how much. So here's the book. So I'm going to turn to a random page. If you guys want more of this truth, if you guys want to support me and my work, the website is in my bio, and then the links are there from the book and the journal. And yeah. All right. So let's see what page. What do we need to hear? Besides the fact that my hamstring hurts? Golly. Okay. What do we need to hear right now, Spirit? What do we need to hear? All right, what page? If you have your book, if you've already purchased a book, go grab it. Go get it. Okay, page 47. And I want you to see how it looks. Look, it just looks like this. One thought. Okay? All right? Okay, so put page 47. Pretending not to care is getting you nowhere, especially when the opposite is true. You care a lot. Put a heart into my chat if you're an avoidant and you've gotten so good at it. If you're an avoidant and you know it, put a heart in the chat. If you're an avoidant and you know it, put a heart in the chat. Whoop. Oh, Leo, we on it. Leo, we on it. Okay, you see? All right. Pretending not to care is getting you nowhere, especially when the opposite is true. You care a lot. You do. So stop with this act. That's not who you want to be. Someone that's walking around with no feelings. You actually are very, very sensitive. You actually do care a lot. And stop pretending. This is what's making people think that, oh, okay, it doesn't matter to them. Okay, whatever. Because you don't ever show no emotion and you just try to keep everybody comfortable. Okay? All right, so that's page 47. So if that resonated with you, put a heart in the chat. Let's see what else. Let's see what else we need to know. Let's see what else we need to know. Hey, let's see what else we need to know. Oh, let's see what else we need to know. Hey, let's see what else we need to know. Oh, let's see what else we need to know. Hey, let's see what need to do the ba ba. Let's see what else we need to go eat. I'm regulating. I'm stimming right now because my butt cheek hurts and I'm stimming right now and I'm trying not to think about my leg and I want to stay on here. Okay, I'm stimming and we're stimming. And we're stimming. All right. Let's see what page we're on now. Okay, I'm good. You see? I just need to get through that. And what if I just held that in? Then I would start sweating more, and I'd rather just move than sweat. It's going to come out some way. I just am more in control of how it comes out now because I allow myself to get the energy out how I want to. And so for me, I like to move through the energy using movement. And if I don't move, I start sweating. You see what I'm saying? It's going to find its way out, but you get to decide. You want to sweat and look crazy, or do you want to do this and look crazy? I'd rather do this. Okay. All right. I feel regulated now. All right. It's going to come out however you want. It's going to come out. All right. Page 9. Ooh, I haven't pulled from this one in a while. Golly. The massage I'm going to get once the massage. Okay. Page 9. Oh, thank you, Angie. I appreciate that. All right. Page 9. Oh, page 9. Let me know if this resonates with you. Let me know if it resonates with you. I know it is. That catastrophic breakup was a mirror reflecting back how much you didn't love yourself. That person was sent to teach you something, but are you willing to learn? I can't wait to do my audiobook. Y'all been telling me to do this and make an audio version. Are you sure? Because I got a lot of attitude. I'm not going to be reading it like Siri. That catastrophic breakup was a mirror reflecting back how much you didn't love yourself. That person was sent to teach you something, but are you willing to learn? That's how the audiobook. So I don't want to hear it when you got the audiobook and people say, who the fuck is cussing us out? What the hell? What the book is this? I'm not going to listen. This book is cussing me the fuck out. No, yeah, this is Kristen. This is how she talks. I'm not going to do the audiobook like this. The catastrophic breakup was a mirror. That's not me. That's not me. That's not me. So no, I'm going to say that catastrophic breakup was a mirror reflecting back how much you didn't love yourself. That person was sent to teach you something, but are you willing to learn? Next page. I can't wait to do this. Oh my God, I cannot wait to do the audio. Y'all, I don't think this, do people do this like this? I love you. Bye, Mia. It's good to see you, babe. Have a good day. Oh my gosh. Does anybody, okay, I don't listen to a lot of audiobooks right now. Does anybody, do people read audiobooks in their own personality, or is it always like really like professional or something? Because I can't do it like that. I just don't resonate with that. Okay, let's see another one. I want to do another one that has an attitude now. Let me do another. No, un poquito, 5 años en escuela, but when I'm not there, I can't remember. But así, más o menos. Uvas, cebolla, rojo, naranja, piña, fresa, rosado. I'm just saying every fucking word I know, okay? I'm just... Okay, I'm trying. Okay? Oh, Lord. Why am I like this? Y'all really want to hang out with me at my retreat? Do you guys really want to hang out with me at my retreat? For real. Gracias. Hey, I'm trying. ¿Cómo se dice I'm trying in español? ¿Cómo se dice I'm trying in español? Okay? Whatever that is, I am. I really do. I'm not one of those people that I'm trying to learn the language, okay? I want to learn it. Okay, but yeah, y'all really want to hang out with me with the retreats? Because I mean, of course, we're going to be serious. There's going to be tears, but we're going to get you out. We're going to be here goofy, and one of my soul sisters on here is going to be doing it with me in the future, and it's going to be so yummy and satiating and good and fun. We're going to have so much fun. I'm so excited. All right, let's see. What's another one? Whew. Okay, page 31. Page 31, all right? You see it here? It's just like, this is a longer one. All right. You went into the relationship to... All right, hold on. Page 31. You went into the relationship pretending to be exactly who that person wanted you to be. And when the mask slipped, the truth was revealed. You're not perfect, and that's okay. You're not perfect, and that's okay. Okay? I think I need to have a visual. Actually, I don't know if I'm just going to do an audio. I think I'm going to do a video and an audio. I want you to see my face too, bitch. I don't want you to see my face, because some of the things you need to see my face, because sometimes it's just in the face, bitch. So I think I'm going to step it up. I don't think I'm just going to do an audio version. I think we're going to do a video version of the book, bitch. So you can just have me up there in the kitchen and I'm going to be like this. Page 35. You are more attached to the future outcome of that relationship than how the relationship was making you feel in the moment, babe. You are more attached to the future outcome of that relationship than how the relationship was actually making you feel. So let's go to the journal. How was that actual relationship making you feel? Be real about how it was making you feel. Go ahead and use it here. Write it down on the pages, because you keep lying to yourself that this is the best person you ever met. But when you really get down to it, I don't know if that's true. I think that's the story you're telling yourself. All right? You're telling yourself that so that you stay true to the outcome. You're telling yourself that because you're attached to the outcome. You're not seeing them clearly because you're attached to the outcome. You're giving them passes because you're attached to the outcome. You're okay with the behavior because you're attached to the outcome. You're doing the things because you're attached to the outcome. You're overlooking it because you're attached to the outcome. You're giving them passes because you're attached to the outcome. You got on the classes because you're attached to the outcome. You don't care about it because you're attached to the outcome. You won't leave because you're attached to the outcome. You keep on doing it because you're attached to the outcome. Attached to the outcome. To the outcome. Hey, attached to the outcome. To the outcome. Hey, are you attached to the outcome? to the outcome. She attached to the outcome. To the outcome. You attached to the outcome. Girl, Natasha, I was thinking about you, right? Natasha, in that moment, I'm like, she's dancing with me. She's still on here. She's dancing with me. I knew it. I knew you were still to the outcome. She attached to the outcome. She attached to the. She attached to the. I can't. So stupid. No, I can't. Okay, listen. Hey, I'm just being real with you. That's why I'm trying to lighten it up. Oh my gosh, Leo, let me look. I don't know. I didn't know. I just pulled to the random place. I'll find it to you. I'll message you. I'll find it. We'll look through it. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to lighten it up for y'all. Okay. It's the truth. I'm just trying to lighten it up. We can just go. Can we twerk through the truth? I'm insecure with it. Yes, I'm insecure with it sometimes. Sometimes when I get upset, I act crazy. Sometimes I slam through the house and act like a baby. But it's because I am still a baby. And I'm trying, if that makes you can do that in this session with me if you need to. I don't care. We can do this. We can talk like that. I don't care. If staying still is too much, you can do it. Whatever you need to do. Okay. I'm not conventional. There's a reason why I didn't go to school to be a therapist. There's a reason why I don't have the degree, the actual degree, and get the training in the system, because I don't think there's going to be anywhere in the training that says if your client needs to twerk while they're talking, go ahead and let them do it. I don't think there's anywhere in the training that says if your client needs to twerk while they're talking, let them do it. But I think that's really effective. I think that, did you know that it's easier to walk and have difficult conversations when you do it walking? Did you know that? Did you know that if you had to meet up with a friend and you guys, you have all this energy and you're nervous, or even an interview, did you know that when you walk and talk, that really helps regulate you at the same time, and you're ready, you're able to stick to your thoughts, you're able to be more direct, you're able to be more calm, you're able to be more rational. Did you know that? Did you know that? Moving and talking at the same time is very, very regulating, especially when you're having an uncomfortable conversation. Did you know that? Or did you know that? Well, now you know it. Okay, so if you need to move and move through, it's okay. All right? All right, let's pull another page. Let's pull another page. All right, let's see. Yeah, Leo. Yeah, you are regulating and it's calming you. Kristen, I was looking at your page the other day and I miss you and I love you. Oh, I love you too. Oh my God, I haven't seen you. I've been seeing your stuff. I've been seeing your videos. I've been seeing you go through your things and your emotions, babe. Keep going. Keep doing it. You're being real. I love it. Every day you're like, it's not a good day this day or whatever it is. I love your authenticity. I love that you keep showing up. I see you. Okay. Keep going. Keep being real. I love how authentic you are. You are such a beautiful soul and you've been rocking with me for such a long time and I appreciate you. Keep going, babe. You got stuff to say. You got stuff to do. Okay? It matters. Keep going. I'm seeing it. Okay? Okay. All right. Ooh, page 115. Page 115. This is for me. This one was personal. Ooh, this one was personal for me, okay? This was my uncomfortable truth. Let me know if it resonates with you. All right? 115. All right? It's one little sentence. You're tired of performing during sex. Uncomfortable truth. You're tired of performing during sex. God, what? Never again. If you don't get me there, you ain't get me there. I'm not hanging from no chandelier. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing none of this shit unless it's real. If you didn't get me, you didn't get me. Let's talk about it. The real intimacy I want is the ability to not have to lie to your ass. The real intimacy that I'm seeking is to be able to be honest with you about how I'm feeling in the moment without the whole energy shifting and you being mad at me or something. That's the real intimacy, because I've gone through things, I've been through things, and the way that sex was introduced to me was not in a good way. And so, yeah, I don't trust all the time, and my body shuts down, and I'm very aware of it, and I don't want to feel like I got to perform for you. So this is why, if sex is validation for you, you're not going to be the one for me. No, I remember. Yes. Yep. Good. I'm glad that it helped, babe. All right. So if you're using me for validation in that way, we're probably not going to work out, because that's going to highly trigger me, because I'm not going to be in the mood all the time and I don't want to do it all the time. And I need to be able to say no and it be honored. And I want to be able to say no in a safe space. And if we were getting ready to go watch a movie and maybe you wanted to do it real quick and I'm just not in the mood, I still want that same energy that you had before you tried when we were getting ready to watch the movie, excited to watch the movie with me. I still want you to be excited to watch the movie with me, just because we're not going to do this. Okay, I don't want that. That's not fair. And that shit triggers the hell out of me. Like, it triggers the heck out of me because it makes me feel like they're disappointed or this and that. It just triggers this. And I'm working on that within myself to say, hey, I'm allowed to say no. If you want to be disappointed, feel it. But of course, we don't want to disappoint our partners. We don't want this and that and this and that. But you are going to be disappointed because me honoring myself is going to cause you to be disappointed once in a while. Okay? If you're not disappointed, that means I'm not being true to myself. And I want my partner that wants me to be true to myself more than they want me to appease their ego. That's the partner I'm calling in. Favorite perfume? I don't know. I don't really wear it that much. I don't really wear it. I like little essential oils more now. Okay, do you guys want another one from the book? Would you like to see another page? Or we can go to a couple pages in the journal. Let me know if you'd like to review another page so you can get more of a style of how my book is. But this is how it is, babe. This is how it is. Oh, I feel like my breakups don't stick. Can the book help? Yes, the book can help if you're ready to help yourself. The book by itself can't do the work for you, but if you're ready to look and read and think deeper about what the book is telling you and apply it, then yes, the book can help. But you have to be involved too. It takes two to tango, even with my book. You gotta tango with my book. Tango with the book. Oh, Mary. Y'all think what? Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Look, you got to see that I'm crazy though, Timothy. Timothy, I don't know. Have you seen? What about this? What about now? What about that? What you think now? Let me know. All right. Everybody, guys, I love this. Y'all are so funny. What is fun? Where do you gain your strength? In my pain, Nicole. The strength has come from my pain. For real, 100%. And I know that shit sounds cliche, but me being brave enough to face my shadows and sit in it is what's made me confident and made me strong, because I was like, okay, this is something that I didn't think that I could get through, Nicole, right? I didn't think I could get through this breakup. I didn't think that I could get through it, but then I did. And that gave me confidence. And then I don't think I can get through this relationship with my dad and there's no contact. I just can't get, and then I'm getting through it. And so it's building strength and confidence in myself. And I don't think I can get through this friendship. I've always had this friendship and I can't get through it. I don't want to have the conversation. It's too hard. I can't. And then I had the conversation and I'm getting through it, and it's causing confidence because it's showing I'm not dying. I'm actually getting stronger. And the things that I thought were for me actually weren't. And it hurt at first to let go of it. But then the more that I got away from it, the more that I had some distance, the more that I see that I'm happier, the more that I see that I'm better, the more that I see. Taria, I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to figure out how to bundle it. I think that you can get a bundle. I will check that out in a moment. I'm trying to figure out how to do it because I'm doing a lot of the stuff on my own, but I'm gonna figure it out for you. Okay. But yeah, so that source is you. The source is you, babe. All you got to do is go in, and I'm not saying it like it's easy all the time, but all you got to do is be brave enough to sit with yourself and to say, hi, Danny, and to sit with yourself and say, hey, what am I running from? What are these feelings? Why is it that I shrink when I get into relationships? Why do I become this version of myself that I really don't like when I get into relationships? What is it about relationships that make me feel this way? Oh, yes, I definitely believe in God and believe in a higher power, but I wouldn't consider myself religious, more spiritual. But bits and pieces of what I learned that resonate with me, I definitely take that. But I'm more believing in a higher power and the power that we all have within each other and how we are all one and connected. And this is why it's so easy for me to speak to people on this live as if I'm there with you, sitting next to you, because we are all one. And the things that I've gone through, I know a lot of you have gone through, and the way that I speak about it makes you understand that and feel that. And so it's like, how could I possibly know these things, and why were we possibly guided to each other today? Why were we guided to each other today when there's billions of people on this app, and then you find my live and I just happen to be talking about exactly what it is that you're running from or that you need to work on? That's really interesting to me. I think that's interesting that happened. All right, let's do one more from the book, and then I'll show you a couple examples of what's in the journal. And then I got my butt is hurting. I got to pick this wedgie real quick, okay? But this booty cheek, golly, I can't wait to stretch the yoga. The way I can't wait to do yoga. The way I can't wait to just bend this knee. Woo! Okay. Someone throw out a number between 1 and 153. Go. The first one I see. Don't overwhelm me. Whatever. Okay, the first number I see between 1 and 153. 133 is the first one I saw. Sheena. 133. I'm sorry. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. I can't stand it. Stop doing it. Sheena. 133. Okay? Yes, Danny. I want to do kickboxing classes, actually. It's funny you say that. I feel like I need it. All right. 133. Sheena. 133. Here is 133. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Okay. T, I don't like it. All right. You're living your life based on someone else's idea of happiness. This is why you have everything you thought you wanted and you're still not fulfilled. We just talked about that with the whole doctor thing. We just talked about that with the whole doctor example that we used with the kid that was going to school to be a doctor because his dad wanted to, and then he realized it didn't feel like what he wanted. And so you're living a life based on someone else's idea of happiness. This is why you have everything you thought you wanted and you're still not fulfilled. Wow. That's interesting. Oh, okay, let's bring it down. All right. How we feeling? All right. So are we in alignment living the life that we really want to live? Are we in alignment living the life that we really want to live? Or are we constantly doing everything because we care about the perception of how other people feel? Or we know that mom and dad won't approve or be happy with this. But at the end of the day, how old are you going to get before you're still listening to mommy and daddy? And I'm not saying in that way to be facetious or to shame you, but it is like that because it's like we are stunted at these little inner children that it's like you don't have to do that, and it's okay for them to be mad at you. Let me repeat that again. It's okay for people to be mad at you. It's okay for people to be disappointed. It's okay for people to be mad. It's okay for people to be upset. Because once you really look at it, you're going to say, Mom, you're upset because I'm genuinely happy changing careers. Because I'm not doing the career that you want me to do or that you think is best for me, even though I'm telling you I'm happy. I love it. I'm excited. I'm not worried about the money. You're projecting money and all these things, even though I'm telling you that I'm not even experiencing this. But you keep projecting your fear onto me. And that's not something I'm going to take into consideration anymore. I'm not scared to change jobs. I'm not scared to do this. And I'm so tired. I realized the reason why I was scared so long is because you projected your fear onto me. You're scared of everything. And Mom, I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. This is why you didn't do what you wanted to do in life, because you were too scared and you're trying to get me to do the same thing. And I don't appreciate that, because look how miserable you are that you didn't go for your job and the thing that you really wanted to do. And you want the same for your daughter? Talk me through that. When you can speak to your parents like that, when you can speak to people like that, that's the mirror that they need. Not you giving in and saying, Mom, why can't you just... No, speak the facts. Stop with it. Speak the facts. Call it what it is. Be real. Take time to process what this really is. Take time to process if you honoring yourself is really that bad. You are really you're that terrible of a child because you're doing something that makes you happy. Stop buying into this narrative. The only reason why the buttons are pushed is because you still believe the shit. The reason why your mom's opinions matter so much to you is because you give it so much weight. That's why. That's the only reason why. Is because you give her so much weight. That's why. You have to change the meaning. You got to see through the projection. You got to understand that she's talking to you, but she's really talking to herself. She's really talking to herself through you. She's the one who wanted to do it. She feels disappointed in herself. She feels upset with what she hasn't achieved. She feels upset, and she doesn't want you to feel this way, but she doesn't recognize that you aren't her. You are your own person. And the sooner that Mom can wake up to that and let you go and let you be your own person, the happier that we can all be. You aren't the one going to work every day, mom. You aren't the one doing the surgeries every day, dad. You aren't the one doing it and feeling stressed out. This is not what makes me happy. I did the doctor thing. I don't want to do it anymore. And now I feel guilty because you took out your whole life savings because medical school is so expensive just for me to do it. So now I feel even more fucking guilty. And I wish I wouldn't have avoided this. And I probably would have felt better if I would have just said no before you pressured me to go to college. I should have just said no then. I should have honored myself then. Now I feel even worse because now you're making me feel guilty that you don't have no money to retire because you used all of it for me to go to medical school when I didn't want to do it. You know, these are the situations that compile. These are the truths. These are the layers of why we don't do certain things, because of all the guilt and the burden that we carry on other people's dreams and the burden that we carry on other people's decisions that they make. Well, damn, maybe dad should have actually listened. Maybe dad should have picked up on cues. Maybe if dad was more intuitive and connected, he would have seen that his child actually wasn't really excited about this. And actually, if dad would have paid attention, he would have seen that his son was actually gravitating towards the guitar when he was little. That's what he really liked. That's what he could do. He liked to play the guitar. But every time he picked up the guitar, you said, put that down and you just study the books. The music is not going to make that money for you. The music is not going to provide a lifestyle. And then after dad says that, he goes over and turns on Jimi Hendrix. After he says that, he goes on and turns on Lenny Kravitz. After he does that, he goes on and turns on some blues of, I'm drawing a blank, but you know what I'm getting at. After he tells the son that he can't make money and make a career in guitar, he goes on and turns on John Mayer to help him study. Some of us have not gone for our dreams because our parents have instilled so much fear in us. Some of us have not gone for our dreams because our parents have instilled so much fucking fear. Fear of failure, fear of being broke, fear of all these things. Well, do you feel like a failure right now doing a job that you absolutely fucking hate that is killing your soul? Do you feel like a failure? Do you have a lot of money in that job? Are you balling? Are you thriving? Are you good? You good? You living financially how you want to live with this, because your parents were so scared of you being broke, and your parents were so scared of you failing and having your dreams crushed. When you try to be a musician, they just don't want you to be upset. Well, how do you feel now? How do you feel now that you got the job and you got the thing? You good? Yeah, exactly. So why don't you, if you're going to suffer and you're going to go through all this shit, why don't you do it on your terms, doing something that you actually care about? Because I've definitely suffered. Oh, don't think that there's no suffering when it comes to going for your dreams. I don't want to fool you. I don't want to try to sell you something. I have suffered a lot going for my dreams, because going for my dreams has made me confront the very parts of myself that were so suppressed and the reason why I didn't go for it. So you think that because I start going for it, that all of a sudden the blocks and the doubt is going to go away? No, sometimes the doubt was compounded. The more I started writing the book, sometimes I would be like, this is fucking stupid. What am I doing? There was times when I was literally writing the book about to publish it, and I'm like, what am I doing? No one cares about this. I've already written the whole thing, done the cover and everything, and before I do it, I'm like, this is stupid. This book sucks. Oh, that's the ego. That's the ego coming up at the very last minute, trying to protect me from other people thinking that it sucks, from other people saying it. It's okay if we say it. It's okay if we say it, but if someone else says it, that's when it really is going to hurt us. And so in order to avoid the hurt, do we really want to put this book out? And then I had to override the system and say, fuck yeah, we're going to put this book out. And I don't care what people think. I am so proud of this little girl. I am so proud of her. And she is so proud of me, because she has always been a writer. And I don't care if she doesn't spell everything right. And I don't care if she doesn't word and the grammar's not perfect. Her message still gets across, and she did it. And that's more than what the best writer could say. There's some people that can write circles around me and still don't have their work out. I don't care. There's people who can write circles around me. I know that I still need to develop my craft. I know that I still need to develop my vocabulary, and I need to learn how to word things, and I'm really wordy. I know these things about myself. I'm learning as I go. But there's people who could write circles around me that have degrees and writing degrees that still don't have shit out. So what does that say? It doesn't fucking matter how perfect you are. It doesn't matter how many degrees, how good you think you are. What matters is if you believe in yourself, and if you actually have the courage to take action. Because, oh yeah, the book can be in my head all my life, but is it ever going to be tangible? Is it ever going to be tangible? Can someone else read it, or is it just for you? It's just an idea at this point. You didn't write a book yet. It's just an idea. And then you didn't publish a book yet. It's still on your computer. There's steps, though. It's steps. But actually being seen is when you hit post. Actually being seen is when you hit publish. Actually being seen and letting the world know who you really are is when you hit submit. You say, bring on the judgment, bring on all of it, bring on the criticism, bring on the praise, bring on all of it, because none of it really matters at the end of the day more than how I feel about myself. None of it really matters. None of it really matters. You guys could have so many opinions about it and say, Kristen, this, and you should really do this. You should really do that. And I think that if you would have did it, I hear you and I agree. Still so fucking proud of this. Wouldn't change it. I am self-published. All right, so let's read a couple pages in the journal, and then I'm sweating. Oh, whew, I'm excited. Okay. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm self-published, and it was so daunting. It was for me, it was like the whole process of doing the book and making the cover and having all the math, like the angles. That's what I don't like math. I'm good at certain math, but geometry and angles, when it started saying, make sure it's this much and this much and this quarter, this much. Oh, that stuff really, I don't like that shit at all. When it started being measure this out and make sure it's 3/4 of a quarter and make sure you save room for the spine. That's when I was like, okay, I see what people pay people to do this shit, but I'm so glad that I was forced to go through the whole process myself because I didn't have the money to pay somebody. So it really allowed me to understand the process. So that way in the future, when other people help me publish and something comes up, I can really have empathy and understanding on genuine things that come up when you're trying to write a book, because I've done it myself. I've done it. I've been I've done the process, and I'm going to continue to self-publish until I have someone that wants to, pick me up and publish me. But, yeah, the process is beautiful. And also when I get to the level where I can afford, to pay someone to be able to do it, then it's going to feel really good. Oh, I can't do it no more with the people today. But anyway, okay, let's see what page. All right. So this book here, A Journal for Breakthroughs, it belongs to you. Here it is. And I gave you a little message here on the front on how you can be successful in this journal. And then we just get right into it. Okay? I left you 2 pages for here. I know. People are wild on TikTok. Okay. And then we go through. And so what I really love about my journal is that I put subliminal messages. So I'm very aware, and I know that you guys are very aware of how subliminal marketing and subliminal messages really programs our brain. And so a lot of times when you wake up and you go to that fast food restaurant, you think it's a conscious choice that you're making because you really want the food, but really it's because you saw these flashes on the commercial a week before, and it really stayed in your brain. And then that way, when you're hungry, that pizza is what you think about. Okay. And so a lot of the subliminals, really do work. They do. This is why you think certain things and do certain things. So I figured, why can't we do subliminals that are going to help us reprogram our brain in the way that we want? And so I put subliminals on top of every single question. So what am I scared of? That is a subliminal that I want you to look at, because there is fear, and I want you to start becoming more aware of what it is that you're scared of, because you're scared of a lot of things. So let's start tackling them one at a time. So at the top of the question is, what am I scared of? And then the first journal prompt is, why have I been so hesitant to sit and reflect on my childhood? So the very first question of the journal is, why have I been so hesitant to sit and reflect on my childhood? Before we even reflect, I want to know what it is that you're scared of. Before we even get into the nitty-gritty details, I want to know, and I want you to know, why are you so hesitant? Let's start from the beginning. What is it? And this forces you to be present. This forces you to think. This forces you to really get comfortable with your emotions. The idea of this journal is to connect your mind and body back together. So there's going to be tons of questions in here that talk about feelings, connecting your feelings to an event, connecting your feelings to this. That is by design. Okay. So then the next one, Time to get uncomfortable. So that's a subliminal, time to get uncomfortable. What are we scared of in society? Being uncomfortable. What is something that we cling to in society? Comfort. So my subliminal, to reprogram your mind that comfort is not always the answer. My subliminal, when you're turning through this journal, is it's time to get uncomfortable. So I want you to see it's time to get uncomfortable. It's time to get uncomfortable. This comfort is complacency. This comfort is killing me. This comfort is not good for me. It's time for me. I'm uncomfortable. It's time to get uncomfortable. Okay, so that's a subliminal. And then the question that goes with that is, how have I personally contributed to the areas of my life where I'm unhappy? That is an uncomfortable conversation that you're going to have with yourself. So this is why I'm already prepping you. Time to get uncomfortable. Here's the question. How have I personally contributed to the areas of my life where I'm unhappy? That's uncomfortable because you're used to being the victim. But it's time to get uncomfortable. Okay? I highly recommend coaching with Kristen. I did it a year ago. Oh, thank you, Danny. I'm actually in the process of revamping Emerge. I know that I didn't do it all last year, and I'm actually in the process of bringing it back and working on time frames and stuff. So a new 3-month container will be coming back soon for my my Emerge group container that I do every year. So thank you. It was life-changing for me. It was life-changing for me. And let me be honest, already the first question was challenging for me at the beginning. It's so uncomfortable, but worth it. Thank you, Leah. I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much for getting my book in the journal and supporting me, doing the coaching, like all the ways. Yeah, especially Danny, you've been so consistent. You've been so just supportive in a way that I have not felt before. Even in the times where I haven't been able to show up and speak and I've been going through my own healing, your love doesn't change. Your love is consistent and it doesn't go unnoticed. And I really, really, really appreciate the person that you are. And I appreciate the way that you love me, even when times I don't feel deserving of it, to be honest, because of how spread thin I am and how tired I've been and how much I've needed just to reclaim my energy and all the different things. You're still there. You still love me. You still show up. And I just need you to know it doesn't go unnoticed. And sometimes, especially in the beginning, it was hard to receive. I'm just going to be honest. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the next one. What's the next subliminal? Speak your truth. Speak your truth. And you're going to see these reoccurring because there's different questions that have to do with speaking your truth. There's different questions that have to do with boundaries. So essentially how I did it is there's several ones. So when you know that there's one that says speak your truth, you know that this question is going to be something about how you haven't spoken your truth, what you need to speak your truth about. When you see one that says choose yourself, you're going to know that this question is probably going to be asking you where you haven't chosen yourself or where you've abandoned yourself. When you see suffering in silence, I want you to see the subliminal, that that's what you do when you're avoidant. So this question is probably going to be about, something that you don't speak about. So to give you an example, suffering in silence, that's a subliminal. That's for you to say, am I suffering in silence? No more suffering in silence. And so the question that goes with that subliminal is, can you think of a time in childhood where you tried to speak up for yourself and you were met with negative consequences? Explain in detail. So why do you think I asked that question? If the subliminal is suffering in silence, you're like, okay, suffering in silence, what's that about? Then you read the question, can you think of a time in childhood where you tried to speak up for yourself and you were met with negative consequences? Could that be the reason why you suffer in silence once you answer this question? So therefore you understand why you don't speak up as much. You see how you can connect the dots? This book is for you to have more compassion for your shadows. It's not for you to hate yourself more. It's for you to understand why you don't speak up, because I know that your awareness around not speaking up is frustrating because you are aware that not speaking up is hurting you. You are aware that your role in not letting people know how they make you feel is why relationships have not been good for you. You are aware of this. And so now let's fill in the gaps. Let's fill in the gaps of how you got here in the first place so that you can understand it and stop beating yourself up and thinking that this is inherently who you are. You actually are very talkative and outspoken. You were an outspoken child, but you were suppressed at a young age. You were suppressed at a young age and you can't help that. That is out of your control. But what's in your control is coming back to yourself and opening that voice back up. You don't have to continue suffering in silence. It's a choice that you're making now is what I'm trying to show you. Whether it was subconscious, but now that you're aware of it because you've done the journal, now you're aware that it's a conscious choice. Now you're aware that it's a conscious choice for you to continue not speaking up. It's no longer ignorance and bliss because you just have addressed it. You know now. Thank you, Bridget. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You've also been here for a while too. Judgment-free zone. Judgment-free zone. How many of us are so scared of being judged? How many of us are so terrified of being judged? It's one of the biggest fears that we have. And so the subliminals, judgment-free zone. You are a judgment-free zone. So I want you to be more aware of where you're judging yourself. So therefore you're projecting that everyone else is going to judge you. The reason why you're so scared of everyone else judging you is because you judge you. You judge you. The link is on my website. You just go to my website and then it'll say, get my book. Yep. Right here by family. Yep. So, okay. You just answered that, babe. You just answered that. Judgment-free zone. Guess what the question is? Where did you feel judged the most growing up and by whom? Where did you feel judged the most? So where did you feel judged the most? Was it your body? Was it your intellect? Was it your intelligence? Was it the way that you talk too much? So where in your life, what aspect did you feel judged the most and by whom? Who judged you the most growing up? Where are you still judging yourself now? This two-part question. Okay? Yep. And so grandma and mom, everything about me. So then where is grandma and mom's voice still ruminating in your head when it's a knee-jerk reaction for you to judge yourself? That's what we got to get to. That's the break. That's the break that we have to get into. It's no longer mom and grandma's voice anymore. It's your voice now. So now when we have those knee-jerk reactions and to go into that self-deprecation, in that moment of self-deprecation is when we have to say, oh, nope, that's not how I talk to myself anymore. And you need to replace it with 3 positive things. Okay? When you find yourself going down that negative spiral, I want you to become aware of it. Ooh, okay? I'm talking to myself in a way that I wouldn't talk to my best friend. And so therefore I don't deserve to be talked to this way. So now I'm going to replace this with 3 positive things, 3 true things, because a lot of the shit that you're saying is not true. I'm so stupid, and every time I make a mistake, I'm such a dumbass. Okay, now we're going to replace it with I'm allowed to make mistakes, and making mistakes doesn't make me stupid or dumb. It means that I'm trying new things. It means that I'm trying to figure things out, and that's actually quite commendable. But now that I've made this mistake, I understand how it makes me feel. So what I'm going to do to correct this going forward is just to slow down a little bit more before I press post. I'm going to make sure that I reread my caption to make sure that I don't have any typos, because I don't like how it makes me feel when I have typos. So I'm going to slow down and just make sure that I correct it. There's no need for me to call myself a dumbass. There's no need for me to self-deprecate. There's no need for me to go down this whole shameful spiral. It's actually wasted energy and it's counterproductive. You see how you can handle that? You see the choices that you got? Hey, you see the choices that you got? Hey, you see the choices that you got? Hey, you see the choices that you got? You are choosing to stay in that misery. You are choosing to stay in that low vibration. You are choosing to think and see yourself in this way. So then once you get through 6 questions, I feel like your inner child says, bitch, I need a break, bitch, I need a break. Bitch, I need a break, bitch, I need a break. Bitch, I need a break, bitch, I need a break. Okay? And because I used to like coloring, I was like, listen, I'm going to make y'all get to coloring. So every 6 pages, you get a really cool coloring book. And it says growth. This one says growth. And then on the back, because I want you to be creative, I say, express yourself. Express yourself. I just put, today I have a little jojoba oil on and shea butter, but I stopped using all lotions and stuff with chemicals. So I just have raw shea butter that literally you just have to like melt it up with your hands. So I use raw shea butter, and then I put a layer of coconut oil or jojoba for some sheen and moisture. And it's and coconut oil is really good for blocking bacteria. That's why they have us swish with the coconut oil. You know how you do the oil pulling? Well, it's actually really good, nice barrier for your skin. But if you live in a hot climate that's really humid, it does block the pores a little bit and you start sweating profusely. So don't say I didn't warn you. You look really glowy, but you're going to you get real sweaty sometimes when you block the pores. So yes, thank you. I like it. Thank you. If you were on here earlier, I was talking about how I didn't like my skin when I was growing up and how I thought that my skin was really ugly. So it really is nice that you say that, because it's something that I've always not liked about myself. So it's really beautiful to see people see the beauty in my skin, and for me to also agree with them now. That's really beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Then look at this subliminal, imperfectly perfect. These are for my perfectionisms. These are for my people who struggle with perfectionism. Here's a subliminal for you. Imperfectly perfect. Imperfectly perfect. This is helping you embrace your imperfections and knowing that just because you have these imperfections, that some of these perceived imperfections are actually your superpower. Case in point, I became hyper vigilant. I became hyper vigilant as a child because my dad and my dad mostly was very explosive and unpredictable in his moods, and so I started getting scared. And so, in order for me to predict when dad was going to be outburst or have an outburst, I used to become super hyper vigilant, and I would monitor his emotions, and I would look at his eyes expressions, and I would see how fast he was walking, and I would see the pace, and I would see if he was walking really hard, and I would see if he opened the refrigerator really hard, and I would see if he closed the microwave and slammed it, and I would look at his face, and I would see if his lips were curling. And I became very, very hyper vigilant of my dad so that I could try to get ahead of the outburst, or so I could try to calm him down and be like, "Hey dad, you want to hear a joke? Hey dad, look at this dance." I would try to diffuse it when I would feel that my dad was a ticking time bomb, and then I would try to diffuse it. And so that followed me into relationships, and my partners would be like, "I can't stand this shit. You're always monitoring my emotions. It's so fucking annoying. Like, I can't stand this shit. You always ask me all these questions." And it's really because I'm just trying to be safe, and I'm also trying to make sure that you stay happy all the time, even though I know that's not my job. But in the relationship, I wasn't healed, I wasn't healing, and I wasn't aware that it wasn't my job to monitor people. And I didn't know that the reason why I was monitoring is because I didn't trust for people to be honest with me about what they were really feeling. Because when I would ask my dad stuff, he wouldn't be honest. He would just blow up, and then I'd say, "I thought you said you weren't mad," and then he would be screaming, crying. And so then I stopped trusting him, because you said that you weren't going to blow up on me, and then when I tell you the truth, you just cuss me out. So then my dad made this distrust in myself within me. And so that used to be something that I thought was a imperfection. That's something that I thought was an imperfection, and this is why I am not healthy and not successful in relationships. But now that I've healed that, guess what? It's one of my biggest superpowers, because hypervigilant also equates to being able to read emotions and energy. And so I think my hypervigilance has made me a really, 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 really good energy reader. And it came out of trauma, and it came out of survival. But now I get to use this to help other people, and I get to say things that people are feeling, but they don't have the words to articulate, because I'm hypervigilant and I'm aware of it. And it also makes people feel really seen around me, because I say the things that are unspoken. I notice that you're doing this when you're talking to me, and so when you're telling me something and you're doing this, I will put my hand on your hand and be like, "Are you okay? You don't have to be nervous. Like, I'm okay. Like, I'm not judging you." Wow, that feels so good for someone to say that. Because sometimes we don't want to say that I feel insecure and nervous, because that also makes us feel insecure to admit it. And so when you have someone that can pick up on your emotions and stay calm with you and just say, "Hey, you're okay. Like, you're not going to get in trouble. There's nothing that you can say I'm with you. I'm here for you." That hypervigilance is the way that I read energy, and I can help people, because not everyone has the words. Not everyone knows how to articulate what they are feeling. And that's where I know that you guys connect with me so much, because I've done so much work to process my own emotions, and I've done so much work observing other people and why they do the things they do. I'm always observing people. I'm always just like, why did you do that? I always ask questions. And sometimes people will ask me when they're telling me stuff, like my friends will just tell me a random story, and they'll be like, "Yeah, and then I said this." And then I'll be like, "Why did you say that?" And they're like, "What does that matter?" I'm like, "No, I'm just wondering what made you say that," because I'm not trying to judge them. I'm literally trying to learn how humans work. And so that's not something that I would do, but since my friend did it, I really want to know why, because I want to know the reasoning. So that way, if I have a client who does this one thing, I can say, "Oh my gosh, I remember when my friend did this, and they told me that the reason why they did this is because of this." And even though I don't resonate with it, now I have another tool, because I'm inquisitive on why people do what they do, so that I can better help more people. That's how I see it. So I need to know more and understand the why behind why people do stuff, so then I can apply it to other people's situations. So I think that hypervigilance is a superpower now. Thank you, Adeline. I think so too. Okay. And so you see how imperfectly perfect, once you change your perspective and you harness your power and you start to flip it and use it for something different, from something good, then that's where you can start to build a career and start to build a brand and start to do the things using your gifts. Is hypervigilance curable? Yes, yes. It's not something that needs to be cured. It's just a trauma response that needs to be addressed. And once you understand why you're so hypervigilant, then you won't become so hypervigilant. And once you start to choose people that don't make you feel like you're not safe with them, then you won't have to be hypervigilant all the time. The reason why you were so hypervigilant is because there was people that was emotionally unavailable and they weren't being honest with you. So you had to monitor because you were around people that couldn't use their words. And then you were hypervigilant because you were trying to stay safe. You didn't want to, you want to make sure that you get ahead of danger. And then we also become hypervigilant because we don't want to be direct, and we'd rather just assume and try to get ahead of things instead of just being direct and maybe getting an answer that we don't really want. So we become hypervigilant and create stories in our head that still add up to the narrative of the outcome that we want. Our brains are very complex, and the psychology of our trauma is super complex. And the way that we shapeshift in our mind and that we lie to ourselves to make things that are not good for us seem good for us is why a lot of us have been in these situations, because we are not being 100% honest with ourselves, and we are making up lies that fit a narrative because that narrative makes us comfortable. But what? We have to get uncomfortable to grow. So that comfort is just fulfilling a void temporarily, but the sustainability of you lying to yourself for 20 years is not. You're going to have a nervous breakdown before that. Just facts. You see it all the time. People literally die because they don't express themselves. People literally get autoimmune diseases because they keep everything in. And people are like, what are you talking about? Just because people don't talk about their anger, that doesn't give them cancer. Yes, it does. Harboring those low vibrational feelings, you have to cope somehow. And usually that causes you to alienate yourself from people and push people away. And that loneliness makes you really sad. And because you're lonely, then you start eating all this sugar to fill the voids. And then the sugar is what causes cancer. So no, maybe directly the anger didn't cause cancer, but all the ways that you coped with the anger or lack thereof coping, or maladaptive coping, is what caused you to get the cancer. Yes, that is true. You're not healthy. Emotional health is wealth, because the emotional health leads how you take care of yourself physically. That's why when you're depressed, that's why the dishes can pile up and you don't take a shower and your bed is disgusting. You're laying in sweat every day, crumbs all over the shit. And that doesn't feel good. That doesn't make you feel good, but you're depressed. You're depressed. You literally can't take care of yourself right now. You don't give a fuck. You're so sad and you're so hurt. You're in a cycle. And that's where that loneliness and that despair literally is why people say, like, what is the point of this? Like, I don't want to do this anymore. It does kill you. It does kill you in one way or another. Even if you are living, did you really live this whole time? Even people who do make a long life, who live till 70 years old, like my dad, which I feel like that's very young now, but my dad lived till 73, but did he really fucking live? Was he really ever happy? Constantly carrying around this shit to the day that he died, constantly talking about this. So yeah, maybe he made it till 70 and that can be considered a long life, but did he really fucking live? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it does kill you. It does kill you. Even when you're alive, walking on this planet, you're still walking around dead, a shell of yourself, a version of yourself that has no vibrancy or life force or excitement, because you're just bogged down by the low vibrational frequencies that you're so committed to being in. Because even though it doesn't feel good, it's known. Even though it doesn't feel good, it's familiar. Even though it doesn't feel good, you know what to expect. I know I'm going to be let down. I know this person's going to cheat on me. I know they're going to abandon me. And you're okay with that because at least there's no surprises. That's wild. Your fear of the unknown is really a detriment to your success. And you know it. The feelings are not going to kill you. They really do make you stronger because you start to see that they don't kill you. And once you see that they don't kill you, you do feel stronger in expressing them, and you don't run from it, and you don't take 1 year to finally make a decision on something that you knew 1 month in. Some of you have wasted that. You have, and maybe it's not a waste, you need to go through it, but there's some of you that have wasted a year of time with somebody that you knew within the first month wasn't it. And that shows your trauma right there. I'd rather be with somebody that I know is not good for me or that I know doesn't make me really truly happy than be by myself. So what does that say how I feel about myself? I feel like so low about myself that I'd rather stay in a relationship that makes me unhappy than be alone, because who I am is fucking boring, not enough, dull, insignificant, whatever it is that you're telling yourself that is not good enough unless you're in a relationship. You're so interesting. You have so many things, but you just shove down your depth and you just resort to being so surface level, thinking that just the relationship and the person standing next to you is what makes you you. But you have such a depth and vast ocean inside of you of thoughts and feelings and creativity and imagination. And it used to come out when you were little, but somewhere along the way, someone dimmed the fuck out of your light, and you are trying so hard to turn that shit back on. And it's not about the clothes that you wear all the time, and it's not about how you're being perceived. It's about how you feel about yourself. And so many of you feel like you are wasting your potential and your talent, and that you are not even creative because you've been carrying this mask and this baggage for so long that you don't even have time to be creative, because all of your energy is taking up on how you resent your father and trying to get a man to be what your father couldn't be. Your whole sense of self has been finding a woman to care about you and love you the way that your mother couldn't. It's exhausting. I got tired of that shit. That's why I've been intentionally single for like 4 years. And at one point I was like 3 years abstinent, as celibate, because I was like, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing this. I can't keep giving my energy and sharing my energy and getting intertwined with all this. I need to be alone for a little bit. Mind, body, spirit. I don't want nobody in here. Get out. I don't want nobody. I always get so confused. I always get so... the clarity is... I always have clarity when I cut everything out for a second and let me just sit and think about this. No one over here trying to do this and get in a relationship. No situationships. No, none of this. Let me just sit with Kristen for once. What the fuck do I want independent of what someone else wants? What do I want? What do I want independent of anyone else's feelings? What makes me happy? Okay. Look, your anger is valid. Your anger is valid. How many of us walk around suppressed and not saying our anger? No, I'm not an Aquarius. I am a Sagittarius. I'm a Sagittarius, but I have a lot of Aquarius friends. I love air signs. Air signs are definitely my yin to the yang. Okay, y'all be making sure blow it out a little bit. Don't put me all the way out, but calm down, bitch. But sometimes when you blow the wind, it can make the fire even bigger. Okay? But yeah, no, I am a Sagittarius. All right, so your anger is valid. Your anger is valid. Another subliminal that I want you to start to adopt. Your anger is valid, okay? Because some of us don't recognize that our anger is what is supposed to keep us safe. And the fact that you're trying to be somebody that doesn't ever get angry is actually making you allow people to disrespect you and just feel like you just put up with anything. You just tolerate anything, and you don't. You do get really angry. You people pleasers are some of the most resentful, pissed off people I've ever met in my life, because I'm one of them, all right? Over here, yeah, sure. And then you hang up the phone. What the fuck? Why they always ask me to do shit? No, you're not mad because they ask you to do shit. You're mad because you have an inability to say no. Stop projecting that shit. No one made you say yes. You thought you had to because you think that you have to be so available for people. And if you're not, they won't love you. So don't you dare give that person an attitude when you said yes, when you wanted to say no. The person that you need to give an attitude is yourself. And you know that. That's not fair for you to say, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And then when it comes time, you make the person feel like you don't really want to, or you're annoyed, or you're giving them an attitude because you're really tired and you actually didn't want to do it. Then you should have thought through that and before you just automatically answered. So my rule for my people pleasers, give yourself 30 minutes before you answer. Give yourself a 30-minute rule, because you know that it's very easy for you to abandon yourself almost simultaneously. It's like milliseconds for you to abandon yourself because you don't even think about, do I have something to do on Sunday? Do I really want to? I've been tired. Do I really want to go volunteer and do this shit on Sunday? Am I a bad person because I don't? I've worked all week and I always complain about how I'm always tired. So do I want to use my one day for rest to volunteer? And do I want to feel bad about saying no? I'm tired of the shit. That's why you're angry. I should be allowed to take a day off without feeling like shit. And so let's get to the root of why you feel like shit. Maybe your mom guilts you all the time when you say no. Maybe you got guilted all the time when you were younger for saying no and manipulated into saying yes. And so therefore, we need to get to the root of it. So the next time that mom asks you to do something and then you finally say, you know what, I'm going to stand in my power and I'm going to say no. And then mom says, oh, what? Nip that shit in the bud. You know what? Mom, stop right there, right now. Here it is. This is the programming. I am so tired of you making me feel guilty when I want to say no. And you have no idea how much this guilt has impacted me and made me feel like I had to do things that I did not want to do. You have no idea. And I don't even think you could handle the truth right now. And I am not blaming you anymore, but I am putting a stop to this. Stop making me feel guilty. Stop dishonoring my no. Why do you do that? Well, I just don't understand. I always did everything. Anytime your grandmother needed me, I was there. And you kids, this generation, you just don't even have no respect for people no more. Okay, and look how happy it made you. And I am not you. And you're actually miserable. Because let's talk about it. You always are gossiping about grandma. Every time you come home from the house, you're always talking shit. So are you really happy doing it? Or are you doing it because you think you have to? Because I don't want you doing something for me and then coming back home and talking shit about me. I want you to do it because you really want to. And I want you to say no when you really want to too. Be real. Okay? You're running through a program and you're really mad because I refuse to continue the program. You're running a program and you're mad because I refuse to kiss your ass the same way that you kiss grandma's ass. That's why you're mad. You're mad because I'm a mirror to how much you kiss people's ass. Because now I'm a mirror to how I'm not. So but the fact that I'm not doing it is a mirror to how you do. And that makes you uncomfortable. And I understand that, but I'm no longer going to tolerate this. That is the mirror that a lot of our parents need to actually heal. Not you continuing to participate in their toxic ass behavior just to make them comfortable, or you're scared that they're going to abandon you. They've already abandoned you emotionally because they don't give a damn about how you feel. You already felt abandoned, even though you see your mom every single day physically. You already feel abandoned emotionally, which is so much worse sometimes. It's so much worse. It's confusing because you say that your mom is your best friend, but she's only your best friend when you're not telling her about herself. She's only your best friend when you're not being mean to her. She's only your best friend when you're not being honest with her. What kind of best friend is that? Because that's the same type of relationship that you have with your actual best friend. Isn't that crazy? Maybe your mother conditioned you on what friendship should look like, and what your mother conditioned you to think that what friendship looks like is abandoning you and putting everyone else's needs on the forefront. And so this is why you always do it. You can get to the root of it by answering these questions. Sorry, I don't know how we got so far off. Okay, I'm not mad at you. I'm just trying to be stern. It's not me, your spirit. He's talking to me too. Okay, they talking to me too. I'm not mad at you. Okay, my foot is asleep. My leg is going numb. I'm just trying to get to you. I'm just trying to show you what it could look like. I'm just trying to show you that you don't have to be so disempowered all the time. And you don't got to put up with shit. And you also don't have to talk how I'm talking. You can say it more with love. I'm just responding to the frequency and frustration that a lot of you guys are feeling. And that's why it's coming out this way, because you are really fucking frustrated, even if you're not aware of it. You are, but you can meet them with love too. You don't have to say it in that way. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I'm just saying it in this way because I'm representing your energy and how you've been feeling. So the way that it's coming out is the way that it feels inside of you, but you just haven't articulated it yet. That's why. Okay? All right. You guys, my jaw is just cracking more and more. I feel like I'm doing something. Like I feel like my jaw is like, my jaw is just like, I don't know, it's hurting more and more. I feel like it's loosening up or something. Let me play this. Let me play the throat chakra. Whew. My foot is going to sleep, which is one of my worst things ever. I cannot stand the feeling of losing circulation. Like, I hate that shit. I hate it. Oh my God. I can't stand this shit. I'm the person that sits on the toilet for too long and my foot gets so fucked up. I can't stand waking up. That feeling. Ooh. Get off the toilet. It's not good for you. Ooh. Thank you for not breaking. Thank you, God, for not breaking. Every time I hit my bowls together, I always thank you so much for not breaking. Thank you so much, because these are so fragile and I've broken like 2 of them already. Wait. This is throat chakra. Yeah, this is throat chakra. Okay, I'm like, is this the right one? All right, let's play some throat chakra to close this live out. I hope you guys have really enjoyed your free coaching session today. And I really appreciate you guys supporting me and buying my book and the journal today. Thank you so much for ordering it. It really helps me keep doing this stuff. If you guys love this stuff, I just got to keep doing it. I just got to just pay these bills so I can keep doing it. That's all. Oh my God, I just want to break even, bitch. I just want to break even, okay? So thank you. Things are picking back up. Things are definitely going better in my business again. And it's because I'm showing back up again. There was a time where I just couldn't do it. Like I just couldn't show up and I had to be real with myself. I was like, listen, it's not fair to them. I'm not present. I'm not focused right now. And people deserve the best of me. And I need to be honest when I can't give the best, even though that's really hard to admit sometimes. I got to be honest, because you deserve the best. You deserve for me to be present, for me to be aware and able to help you. But I can't do that when I'm so deep in my own grief sometimes. I just can't. And that's the honest truth. And this is why I create books and I create workshops and different things that you guys can still connect with me, and content that you can still listen to. My podcast, please check out the Stay Hype podcast. Please check out my YouTube. I have tons of videos where I take you through different workshops and masterclasses around shadow work and how to actually get through it. I have a video that is a prelude, a really good precursor for the workshop that I have at the end of the month. On the 31st, I have a shadow work workshop. It's $25 for you to join, 90 minutes. So if you want to start doing more in-person coaching with me, but maybe you don't have the funds to do one-on-one yet, that's okay. I have several different tiers because I want to help everyone. Okay? Do I have a YouTube channel? Yes, it's Stay Hype. Same thing, but no underscore. And my website, you guys, everything you need about me is on my website. My books, my social media, all the links, my events that I have coming up, my in-person sound healings that I have. If you're in the Tampa Bay area, any things that I do, sister circles in the park where I'll do like 6 women, and we will sit out in the park together and we'll just go through stuff intimately. It's kind of like little mini retreats. I do all that kind of stuff. So please just make sure you have my website and just stay up to date on the things that I'm doing. And if you want to go deeper in your healing and you resonate with my coaching style, I'm here for you. Book the call, do the thing. I do one-on-ones virtually, and my workshops are virtually too. My website is KristenUnderwood.com. It's not in my bio. KristenUnderwood.com. It's not in my bio. That's crazy. Let me see. I want to make sure. I could have sworn I put it in there. All right, let's take a deep breath in. It's not anymore? Okay, thank you for letting me know. One moment. Let me see. Let me check while I got you guys on here. Let me try to fix it real quick. Let me get it fixed. Let me fix it. Hold on. It's so annoying. Okay, hold on 1 second. 1 second. Un momento. Okay, let me go put it here. I guess they may have taken out the link. I think they took out the link option, because you used to be able to. Here, let me just write that. That's weird. I have to see. Let me know if you can see it now. I've changed it. There's not a link option, but let me know if you could at least see the website there so you could get to it. But I'm going to see if they still have that link option, because I don't know if they just took that off. But yeah, KristenUnderwood.com. I just refreshed it, so you guys go check it out. Go check it out. See if you can just at least see the words on there, at least the KristenUnderwood.com. Let me know if you can see that. And then, hold on, let me save. All right. Okay, yeah. So let me know it's there now. Okay, cool. I'm gonna look on my phone and see if there's different options. But thank you so much for letting me know that. I had no idea that it went away. No idea. So thank you. That really helps because people can't even get to my stuff. I thought it was there. So thank you guys. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you so much for supporting. You guys got this. Come on, we got to integrate it. We have to integrate it. So I know that some of you have been with me for 3 years. Now it's time to take another step forward. I'm not saying that you haven't taken any steps forward, but you know that this next step is a big leap and there's something that you're going to have to do and you know it, and I'm here for you. So we have workshops at the end of the month. We have one-on-one, and I'm also going to be opening up another 4-week one-on-one coaching container in February for those of you that were able to get into my coaching. The coaching in January, we were full. I actually only asked for 5, and I ended up getting 6 clients in January. So I'm so grateful, so blessed. I'll be doing another 4-week container in February as well. So if you missed this one, be on the lookout for the next sign up for February. If you want to work with me and get 4 sessions and we go deep, and a lot can happen in a month. It just depends on if you're ready to really take action. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. I worked on it a lot. Me, my one of my really good friends, Allie, she helped me set up all the bones. She helped me set up all the stuff because I didn't get the coding. And then one day I just spent all Saturday and just did all the tabs and just went through each thing, and just like it took me like 9-10 hours, like just sitting there all day. And I'm really proud of it, and I really love how it looks. So thank you for saying that, because all the colors, everything took me forever. So thank you. I'm glad that you like it. There's a lot of work that went into it with me and Allie. So, all right, y'all. I love you. I will see y'all tomorrow. Remember, Monday through Thursday, 6:30 to 10. I'm not here on Friday and Saturdays. Some Sundays. Some of you guys were looking for me on Friday and Saturday. I'm like, I'm taking a break. Let me get a day off, please. Okay? I don't want to wake up early all the time, even though I wake up every day at 5 in the morning. But, you know, it's different waking up having to do something versus just waking up and being able to just vibe and go at your own pace. And so I need Friday, Saturdays to be like that. I need to be able to have flow. That's how I balance my masculine and my feminine. My masculine shows up structured Monday through Thursday. Okay, we're here. Masculine energy, create the structure that you can flow into. And then my feminine energy needs days where I have to wake up with no agenda, no rules, no program, no nothing. I just need to be able to wake up. If I want to lay in bed for 20 minutes and then go get a thing of tea and then go sit out and let the birds chirp and then maybe do some painting, and then then I take a shower, and then I do this, and then I need days where it's like nothing's programmed. I can just flow. I need spontaneity. I need that. So I just try to find the balance in the way that I make my schedule, because if I can control how I make my schedule now, then I'm going to make it exactly how I want. Instead of when I was forced in corporate America to do certain things that I hated, then why would I do that for my own business? Why wouldn't I structure my business exactly what I want instead of following the same framework that I hated in corporate America? So I get Fridays and Saturdays off, and I only work 4 hours in the morning, Monday through Thursday, and then the rest of the time is creative time. That's a good balance for me. I need that. Okay. Anyway, I rambled enough. I love you guys. Today was so fun. Thank you for being here, and I will talk to you later. I love you, Danny. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything. I love you. And bye, Adeline. Thank you. Oh, look, my niece got me a sun necklace for my birthday. Look. Love you too, babe. I will see you later. Bye.